following is a UTV-44 sports production.
Friday night rivals. This is the UA Early College UTV-44 Game of the Week. Sponsored by Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
A long-time rivalry that goes all the way back to 1962 renews tonight here on UTV 44 as the Theodore Bobcats are at home playing host to their rivals from Midtown, the Murphy Panthers. And both of these teams really need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive in 7A Region 1. CA Douglas Field is where we're at tonight here out in Theodore, and crossing our fingers that the rain stays away for the evening. I'm not sure the players are as concerned as we are about that as we're outside here tonight at Theodore. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, and Vic Lockett here tonight. And, you know, we were just talking about it with Lance Crawford on NBC 15. I mean, this really feels like a must-win game for both of these teams tonight.
Yeah, it is, and especially for Murphy, I think. But, you know, Theodore feels the same way. But you're going to see some talent on both sides of the ball tonight.
Yeah, you're going to see some kids you're going to see playing on Saturdays down the road. And who knows, Vic might anoint them to the NFL on Sundays. We'll talk about that during the game. So, hey, but defensively, Theodore giving up 11 points a game. They come in, you know, they're 4-2. You've given up 11 points for the first 6 games. You'd think you'd be better than that, but they start clogging everything up right in the middle defensively, don't they?
Yeah, you know, it all starts up front, and Mr. Porter there, Samaje Porter, is a big guy. He's a good athlete. He's getting a lot of looks from the SEC schools. I think right now, maybe if he was to narrow it down himself, he might say Mississippi State, but a lot of schools like him. Impressive about him, too. He's already got his books and everything in order. So he's good to go.
Yep.
Good student, good player, and going to be a problem for Murphy.
You know he's a good student when Vanderbilt's trying to get you to come play football there. That's
a big point.
Speaks a lot. So he's 310 pounds. Murphy's got a running back who's just a sophomore, leads their offense, 175 pounds. He better be quick tonight, Vic.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be quick. Breland Manley, he's just one of those guys with quick steps. He just impressed me in our first game when we saw him. He's one of those guys that runs with authority and conviction, sees the hole and goes through it with determination. Quick, choppy steps, you know, and he gets it done. He caught the coach's eyes, we heard, in summer camp during the conditioning. They said, hey, we got to find a place for this young man because he is working hard, and it's showing on the field as well. So he'll be coming up against that big man in the middle, and I'm sure he wants to avoid him.
Yeah, Murphy on the year this year, all 4 of their losses have come on the road. They're 0-4 on the road. They only play 4 home games, so you can just see the importance of this game for them here tonight in the region. And Murphy's got 2 tough battles coming up, also taking on Davidson and Fairhope in the next 2 weeks. So Murphy's got to have this game tonight, but Eric Collier said, hey, we got to have it as well. Kickoff coming up in just minutes here in Theodore. Murphy and Theodore tonight here on UTV 44. Just had the coin toss, and Theodore won. They deferred to the second half, so Murphy will get it first. And let's go down to the sideline and welcome Tara into the broadcast. Tara Reeves, good evening.
Jim, of course, speaking of Murphy, I spoke with Coach Barnes earlier this week, and he said that they're really having some testing.
Okay, we'll go back to Tara having some equipment issues there, and we'll get back down to her as we get ready to kick this one off. 7A region matchup tonight as we get ready for Theodore and Murphy tonight. And as we talked about in the open, both these teams really need a win.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
And let's go down and try and check back in with Tara. Tara.
All right, round
Hey.
2, Jim. Speaking of Murphy, I spoke with Coach Barnes earlier this week, and he said that their backs are really up against the wall with playoffs at stake for both of these teams, but he feels that they're going to win at the line of scrimmage when they're on defense because their defensive line is really reaching their stride at a crucial point this season. And defensive end Norman Weaver, he agreed. He said that they can beat Theodore's O-line, and Murphy really plays their best football when their backs are up against the wall. But of course, Coach Collier is hoping that his 3-year starting quarterback, Trevor Andrew, will be able to create plays for their team because their offense is really built around Andrew. Both of these teams are desperate for a win tonight, so we're definitely going to see a fight.
And, you know, Murphy, I think one of those teams right now, you see teams that are maybe struggling a little bit. They're 2-4. 2 weeks ago, they gave up a 4th and 35 late in the game at Saraland, end up losing that game. Then last week, they come out a little flat, fall behind 20-0 against Foley. And it's just, you know, you just see teams when you're
I think that Saraland game says it all. If you can go toe-to-toe with Saraland in Saraland.
And we saw him go toe-to-toe with McGill.
Yeah, you're a good team. So Murphy is a good team. They don't have a record that reflects that. But let your eyes tell you what you're about to see, and don't look at that record. Just watch this team on the field.
Yeah, and it's been penalties and turnovers that have really hurt this Murphy team. And it doesn't matter what level of football you're watching. That's what really seems to be the difference. And you know, watch.
Theodore's record would probably be better too if they didn't turn it over as much as they have.
Yeah, they lose 17-14 to Fairhope in a game which they didn't give up an offensive touchdown. So you hold the other team out of the end zone defensively, you think you're going to win the game. They didn't do that. The only game, they haven't given up more than 17 in a game all year long. 17 they gave up was to Davidson. That's the most they gave up. Shutout Enterprise 39-0 last week. So, I mean, this is a team that, Eric Collier, you talk about sometimes coaches talking about liking their teams. He likes his seniors, and he likes some of the younger guys he's got out there in the field.
Yeah, I think he likes the seniors for their leadership, Jim, and I think he likes some of the younger guys for the talent they're going to bring this program. Some will show it tonight, others will be showing it.
But he'll like them even more if they start getting some W's and cut down on the penalties like you guys are talking about.
Marcus Lynn will kick off for the Bobcats.
Been a while since we've been here.
Yeah, did not make it here last year. Darnell Thomas is the deep man for the Murphy Panthers. And Lynn pushes it to the near side. Taken at the 21, straight up the middle of the field. And Manley brought down at the 34-yard line. His helmet came off. And
he hit him up high, and it was just the only thing was left was for his helmet to come off until his head was not.
Starting linebacker Colton Higgins with the special teams tackle there on Breland Manley. And we'll see the Murphy offense coming out to be led by Maurice Robinson, the senior quarterback. There's Muskegum Barnes, head coach, first year here, 2-4. Of course, played at LSU for Nick Saban, and discipline. It's a big part of what he is trying to bring to the
conditioning and discipline, right?
Well, from the optics of it, the buzzword for this year, it does look like it's taking a toll and it's making this Murphy team looks better, but we'll see through tonight.
Robinson, they pitch it right back to him, wide open as they've got Michael Jefferson at the 30, 20, touchdown Murphy to open the game. They give it to Lamar Harris. He pitches it right back to Robinson.
Well, they thought it was just going to be a simple stretch play with Manley, and they caught him asleep, and Manley pitched it back to his quarterback right there, and protection is pretty good, and he just throws it up, which that's all he had to do because he's wide open. There's nobody within an acre of their running, wide receiver.
I mean, corners, safeties, nobody home on that one.
Pushes the crowd right off the bat, first play.
Michael Jefferson, big wide receiver, 6'4", 180. Sometimes those are the toughest passes to catch because you got nobody
too easy
around them, right? Oh, how about that? So,
well, I tell you what, the quarterback threw it so well. Nice touch, nice catchable football.
Yeah.
That one was very, very easy.
Same with that, Jim. It can be a tough throw.
Yep. Carter Cochran on to kick. Darnell Thomas to hold. And the left-footed kicker makes it 7-0. Murphy just 21 seconds into the game.
What a job by Darnell Cochran there to get that ball down because it came back to him wobbly, and he got it down where his kicker can complete the play with the extra point.
66-yard touchdown pass to open things up for the Murphy Panthers. And talked about they came out flat last week against Foley. No flat on the first play there. Faith Academy and Williamson played last night. Mary G. and McGill. How about the big one over in Fairhope tonight in 7A Region 1 action? Fairhope at home. And Davidson taking that great defense on the road there. Spanish Fort and Foley, Baker and Bryant tonight. Saraland and Baldwin County. We're going to see Saraland, Spanish Fort next week here on UTV 44. Gulf Shores and Daphne, Blunt and LaFleur, BC Rain and Robertsdale. Also St. Paul's and Citronelle. That's going to be for the region championship tonight up in Citronelle. That's a good game. Good for Citronelle being in the hunt right here with a chance to make a statement against
having a good year.
St. Paul's, Viger, and Jackson tonight. Wilcox Central also on the road. Andalusia and Satsuma UMS on the road. Mobile Christian up at Hillcrest Evergreen. And Clark County and Excel. And T.R. Miller taking on Flemington tonight. Cochran with a high short kick to the far side. And Theodore with her first touch on the night. And that's Cameron Brown, the sophomore. He's out to the 37-yard line, and One more group of games to tell you about tonight here. Cottage Hill and Bayside, St. Luke's and Leroy. That's a good matchup tonight. Chickasaw and J.U. Blackshear. Choctaw County on the road at Washington County. Sweetwater and McIntosh. Fruitdale taking on Milry and Linden. A.L. Johnson do battle here tonight.
Getting down to the wire. So after this week, or this week, is 3 more weeks left for the regular season. So got to finish strong. Looks like we got a player down out there from Murphy. So checking him out, and prayerfully he's A-OK.
Jeremiah Hall.
Good sportsmanship by the Theodore Bobcats as well as the Murphy Panthers, taking a knee while the injured's being looked after.
Backup linebacker on this Murphy team. And
at least he's to his feet. Let's hope he can just go over and get some water and get back to work.
There's Eric Collier's 5th year here at Theodore, looking to get his team into the playoffs for the 2nd time in his tenure here. Really likes his team this year. Quarterback Trevor Andrews likes everything he brings to the table, and a lot of athletes on this football team and also play on the very good Theodore baseball teams. And Andrews give out to the 41-yard line, and first carry tonight for Roy Tukes. And let's look at this offense. North, Smith, Johnson, Owens, and Reed up front for this Theodore Bobcat team. Tillman, the leading wide receiver, 23 catches already on the year. Williams there, O'Neal on the other side. Tukes in the backfield with Peyton. Trevor Andrews as well, and we'll see some other host of backs. Jimmy Haywood will come in there at times tonight. Picks this one back out, and this is Tukes, the right side, and looks like he's going to have our first long injury attorney's first down of the night here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I formation power sweep.
Yeah. What? Murphy defense. Kendall Adams, Cardarius Jackson, Norman Weaver, the Terra touchdown in the opening. Chase Weaver, John Patterson, the linebacker. Santese Williams really makes it go. Juwan Adams as well at the linebacker. And the secondary, Jalen Adams, Trayvon Ross, keep your eye number 1. He's a playmaker. Maurice Agee and Michael Coleman.
Little pistol.
1st and 10. Andrews slings it to the far side, and that's incomplete. Good coverage over there. Jalen Adams was there covering Fabian Williams, the senior wide receiver. He's got 15 catches on the year. Theodore's got some young men that look the part on the field, don't they?
Oh, they do. They do. They've got a quarterback that's been their guy for a few years, so see if they get something cranking here on offense.
Well, it's always good to have a senior quarterback and somebody that's been in your program at least a year or 2.
Yep, started last year. Andrews nowhere to go on that one. Wow.
Yeah, tried to run the little speed option, but penetration just blew that up. Murphy playing on their side of the football.
Yeah, that was Jackson in there and sniffed that one out from the get-go. Going to bring up a 3rd and 13.
Well, it's easier to sniff it when you're 5 yards in the backfield.
When you're closer to the source, right?
Closer to it, yeah. He put himself in a position, Jim, to see what was going on by shedding the center.
Trevor Andrews, he's thrown for 680 yards coming into tonight's game. Has time now. It quickly dissipates, and he gets it off on the far side. It'll be completely short of the first down, but Andrews a good job to give his punter at least a little more room to work and maybe pin him back down there on the pass on the far side as Fabian Williams has his 16th catch on the year.
Yeah, he was under some duress there. They ran that corner blitz, and Tukes did a good job of getting over there and giving him a little more time, taking on that defender, but the defensive end got loose, and just a good job to even get it out there with his momentum.
To feel that pressure coming in.
Absolutely.
Fabian Williams on the punt. Darnell Thomas back for the Panthers. Williams was kind of a knuckleball, and Thomas wanted a fair catch it, then he decided to let it roll, and now it falls on it at the 15. So that pass completion did help Theodore be able to pin him back down at the 15-yard line, and Murphy run one play tonight, and they've got the touchdown. And if you want to reach out to us here throughout the game, if you're lucky enough to have Dan Brennan or Vic Lockett's cell numbers, you can send them a text during the game. We'll read those, or you can email us at heyguys@utv44.com. We'll take your questions all night long, and always love to hear who's watching the game. Willis Wilcox already checking in. Vic Lockett, your old Shaw teammate. He's already checking in, watching the game from the kickoff tonight up in Saraland. And trying to bounce it out to the near side. Well, great job. That's who Dan talked about, Tamaje Porter.
I mean, big man just had lunch right there, boy. He ate him completely up.
Before the game, he asked me to talk about him, so I said okay.
You weren't going to tell him no, were you?
I was not.
Not to his face, at least.
He's 99, huh?
Yeah.
Like Vic Lockett.
Yeah, that's my old number, but he is represented really well right there. He said, hey, sit down here before I have to hurt you, son.
Breland Manley just didn't have a chance on that one. Dan and I were looking at Tamaje on the field before the incident.
That jersey doesn't even fit.
Looks like Warren Sapp in the Bucks days. Second and 16. He'll try to go to Manley on the left side. He's got a little hole back out to the 11. And third and long coming up here for the Murphy Panthers. As we said, Murphy 2 and 4. Didn't even get a chance to get their lineup with a long touchdown pass. Wheat, the tackles. And then you've got Miller, Andrews, and Bowery, the returning starter up front for the Murphy offense. Jefferson, who has the touchdown reception already. Noble, he's really got some interest in Mississippi State, Kansas, teams like that. A.J. Lewis and Christian Sellers. Breland Manley in the backfield, and Maurice Robinson, the senior quarterback, has thrown for 712 yards, 7 touchdowns coming in tonight. That's now 8, just 2 interceptions on the year. Great athlete. All-state in the triple jump and the long jump. And they look to put it in the air again. Now he's going to pull it down on the left side. Out near the 20, tries to make a move, and Theodore's defense will force a 3 and out, all set up by that great first down stuff.
Absolutely. Got him behind his sticks and got him off schedule there.
Theodore defense, we said, allowing just 11 points a game. Michael Washington, Tamaje Porter, and Jeremiah Hester. The other end, the linebackers, Williams, LeCedric Coleman. Vic, keep your eye on 32. Demouy Kennedy, just a sophomore, but boy, looks so great. Colton Higgins at the special teams tackle already. Locke, Gatson, Tyrone Hall, and Cameron Brown. The secondary, and Darnell Thomas out to punt. Play clock approaching 5. And Thomas will get it off. High kick and a fair catch called for at the 48-yard line. Hunter Tillman back there to receive the kick. And our UTV 44 game of the week brought to you by University of Alabama Early College. Vic Lockett.
Roll Tide, brother. Gonna eat some bacon tomorrow. I ordered about a pound of it. I'm gonna cook it in the morning myself. A little tradition around the house. For Arkansas, we always get some slab bacon with the rind on it.
I don't even want to ask what you do when they play the Georgia Bulldogs, Vic Lockett.
Hot dogs.
Okay.
Good answer.
Comes back out. Andrews rolls out, zips it to the far side. He's able to get that one complete to Hunter Tillman, who Eric Collier was raving about him in the pregame show, said just loves. Kid plays on the baseball team, his 25th catch of the year. Not real big, about 5'6", 145, just a junior. But he's a player.
Yeah. We're also going to talk about how well he does in the classroom.
Theodore's got a lot of those kids. Yeah,
they do. They've got some kids getting it done on the field and in the classroom, and it's always great to hear.
2nd and 7 coming up. Andrews over the middle dangerously, and there was some contact as Trayvon Ross, as we said, well, keep your eye on him. He's always around the football. He's got 3 interceptions on the year. There's some traffic there, and
yeah, wanted to get that slant, but like you said, he threw it in a whole lot of traffic there. And lucky to get that back.
I'm very happy to announce that, you know, on October 13th, we're still taking heat timeouts for high school football. 5:42 to go in the opening quarter. It's 7-0 Murphy. They need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive, but so do the Theodore Bobcats. Halfway through the opening quarter. First visit to Theodore tonight for the UTV 44 crew. David Sharp keeping stats. Jared Kios on the truck. Tara Reeves on the sideline. Vic Lockett, Dan Brennan, Jim Cox.
So we can afford David this week?
I'll tell you, hey, he's glad he's here. And now we get our first flag of the night on pre-snap penalty coming out of a timeout.
Not the way you draw it up. Coach Collier's not going to be happy about that.
Yard on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Concentration drills.
So thanks to 3rd and 12. See Coach Collier with the pink shoes on. Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October. 3rd and long. Panthers showing blitz. They look to set up the screen. They go back up. Hunter Tillman on the right side, and a huge hit as Tillman was met by Chase Wilson, the linebacker.
And that's the way you bring the leather.
I think Santee Williams may have been over there as well. Williams, their leading tackler. Let's see if it was 5 or 9 on the far side of the field.
They're setting up the screen, but it's the linebacker's responsibility to make the play, and right there he makes it.
Santee Williams, yeah. So 5 actually got kind of blocked on that, and Williams with his 54th tackle of the year with a statement. High snap. Good kick by Lynn, and fair
Make
catch.
a note, that's the second high snap that Theodore Bobcats in. So they're going to have to get that cleaned up, and one of them's going to flip over their head.
Thomas with a fair catch back at the 10.
2 punts, 2 high snaps. Not the way you want the stats to look.
Senior night here in Theodore tonight. Did a nice pregame ceremony honoring all the seniors, and so your trail maids out here at Theodore as well. Our UA Early College Game of the Week here on UTV 44, brought to you by our fine friends Fusakli's. Feed the crew before the game. Long and long injury attorneys bring you our first down every week here on UTV 44. 4:56 to go in the opening quarter. Maurice Robinson dumps this one out of the backfield and trying to spin it up the near side, not across the 25, out near the 30-yard line. Anthony Miller came out of the backfield, and Miller, just a junior, did a good job to squirt this one out to the near side.
Yeah, nice job by Robinson to get that swing pass off under duress, and good move by that receiver. I don't think he's a regular back, is he? Yeah, he is a second-string back, and he made a nice move to get around the end there.
Long and long injury attorney first down here for the Murphy Panthers.
Got that wide receiver bill.
Just
that number throws you off.
Anton Noble goes and sets up at the tight end spot on the far side. Robinson wants to keep this one. Robinson nowhere to go. Great job staying home by the Bobcat defense.
Right there is just what we were talking about in the pregame show, Dan. You said Murphy's got a lot of talent. Theodore's got a lot of talent. This quarterback right here has got an offer from Bammer. Look at all this talent and quickness. He can't get away.
No, and just broke him down right perfectly.
Yeah.
Mike Williams, the linebacker there, and Cameron Brown. The corner comes up to make the stop. Brown, just a junior. A lot of young players on this Theodore team. They had some really talented sophomores. Keep your eye on number 32. I was telling Vic he loves to watch the linebackers play. Demouy Kennedy looks like another linebacker that used to roam the field here in Theodore.
Wearing 32.
Doing it for the Ravens now.
2nd and 12, and Jefferson wasn't anticipating the pass. Good coverage on that one, but Robinson put it out there. I don't think Jefferson was ready for it to come his way.
No, he wasn't. He was still trying to get rid of the defender there. Big 6'4", 180-pound receiver. Just worried about getting touched out there.
He was a little more open on the first time they threw it to him.
No kidding.
Tonight.
He prefer those all night, I guarantee you.
And just joining us, Murphy scored on the first play from offense as a 66-yard touchdown pass from Robinson to Jefferson, and that's where we're at. Right now, just under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter, and now 3 receivers to the top and Jefferson to the bottom here for the Panthers. Robinson steps up, lost the football. He's able to fall back on it. That was Michael Washington, the junior defensive end, who came and got immediately on Robinson, knocked it away, and fortuitously it bounced right back to the senior quarterback.
Yeah, right before the snap, Theodore Red Dog one of the linebackers from the other side. They just outnumbered him up front. He was able to break free in there and tackle.
Got some good defensive linemen in this football game, Jim. Interior and on the edge.
Darnell Thomas to punt. Hunter Williams, Hunter Tillman back Theodore's had good field position. Haven't been able to take advantage of it so far here in the first quarter. Pressure coming. Thomas with an end-over-end kick. It's a big bounce, and Tillman picks it up at the 40 with some speed to the far side and gets to the 44-yard line. And a late flag at the end of that one. That one came in right at the end. Play. Looks like maybe a block in the back, maybe against the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's what they get them with.
So Backham.
The infractions continue to pile up for them.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Let's go down to Tara. She's got an update on a special member of the coin toss that we saw before the game. Tara.
That's right, Jim. Her name was Aubrey Nicholas. She's a 10-year-old, and she has DIPG, which is a rare form of brain cancer. So the community has really rallied around her. She's a huge Alabama fan, was able to go up to Tuscaloosa, meet a couple of the players, meet Nick Saban himself. And Jalen Hurts, quarterback for Alabama, is actually now sporting an Aubrey's Army bracelet during all of his games. If you want to try and take part or support Aubrey at all, you can go on her Facebook page, Aubrey's Army, and do guys.
All right, thanks, Tara. The penalty backs up the Bobcats to the 34.
Yeah, Mr. Minton, the principal out here, talked to me a little bit about that pregame.
Chip Minton coming out here to become the principal last year after spent a lot of years out at Baker.
For that BC Reign?
Yep, was the head coach out at BC Reign and then athletic director out at
I was about to say,
Baker.
He loves sports.
Yep.
Good guy. Yeah, he's very proud of their support of that young lady for the coin toss, and so is everybody else out here with a heart.
48th carry of the year for Jimmy Haywood. And he picked up 5 on first down for the Bobcats. Andrews fakes it, now zips it to the near side, and able to get that one out of the backfield, but nothing much doing is going to haul. That one down was
Matthew Davis announced on the PA, Jim.
Yep, didn't have a 24 on the Theodore roster, so Matthew Davis it is.
Well, we certain the hometown guy knows who the players are for sure on the PA.
Good.
We're outside. We might as well cheat, huh, Dano?
Hey, more good linebacker play by Murphy on that one.
So far to me, guys, looks like these two teams are just what we talked about in the pregame, evenly matched in terms of talent, other than the flea flicker. So when talent matches up, you got to trick somebody to win the football game. Murphy came out with the first trick, get ahead.
They decided not to wait.
Correct, yes.
Because it was, like you say, the play one of the game.
Exactly.
And it definitely caught the Bobcats flat-footed.
But other than that, they've just played here between the 30s and held each other right there with the talent matching up.
Fusakli's pick up a party tray of 100 or a sack of 20, or get your trays of 50, 100, 200, or the locket. That's not 99. That's 300.
Yep. That'll top it off tomorrow evening
after the bacon.
After the bacon, that's
okay.
Breakfast bacon. Now.
All right, and the best lemonade in town. Have that bacon in the morning, a little thirsty from all the curing and
all the salt.
Order your trays for your football party. Most importantly, don't fake the foo, and you can't take the foo out of football. So thanks for Fusakli's. They feed our crew all season long here. Dan Brennan occasionally will sneak a Fusakli French fry.
I will.
And that's probably all you guys will eat, right? Y'all will split a fry.
I like those fries a little too much.
It doesn't show at all, though, okay?
Minute 53 to go in the opening quarter. Jalen Randall, big number 98, comes in at the nose for the Murphy Panthers. Trevor Andrews gives it back off to Tukes, and Tukes is going to be about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, he slipped around a couple of times out here. He may have to check the length of his cleats. I don't know. Everybody else seems to be having good footing, but Tukes is having a little trouble with his. Otherwise, I think he would have powered that on through.
Williams over there with a tackle again, and fourth and less than a yard, and it's like Eric Collier says, we're going to go for this one. Under center, Andrews.
Drive him offside,
well, Andrews maybe a quarterback sneak. He's 6'2", 185. He's a big quarterback, and he goes, and wow, very close on the spot here. Murphy thinks they stopped him. The official on this side looks like he's going to Looks like he'll have it.
I think it's going to be pretty close.
I think he could have used that shove from the tailback a little sooner.
Yeah.
First down, long and long injury attorneys. First down, don't even need to measure.
Yeah, he said, I'm just going to go off my eyesight. And my sight say it's a first down, and mine's the only one that matters.
So fresh downs for Andrews and the Bobcats. Inside a minute to go in the opening quarter. Andrews zips it quickly. You can tell why he likes Tillman as his favorite receiver. Right up here, midfield.
Big
Tillman.
Jalen Randall getting some time for defense, and he's running all over the field there, big 98. They got to give him some credit getting back there on that pass.
A few Tillmans down around this.
Yeah,
this area
here in rural Mobile County, you're right. Theodore, out towards Sims. Good athletes.
Hunter Tillman with his third catch tonight. And Andrews looks quickly out to the near side, able to get that one off. That's Jordan O'Neal. Wow. Looked like that had some promise when they got it to O'Neal, his third catch of the season, but Trayvon Ross over there to help shut that one down. And we are through one quarter here in Theodore's C.A. Douglas Stadium. Murphy, lone big play of the game and the only score thus far. They lead it 7-0 on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Through one here on our UTV 44 Game of the Week. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Locatier, Reeves from the sidelines. Jared Kihos in the truck, and our entire UTV 44 crew bringing you this one here tonight. 3rd and 8. Coming up here for the Bobcats. I formation. 3rd and 2. My mistake, 3rd and 2. Play clock down to 10. Pitch it, trying to get around the far side and nothing doing. Good defense. Shut that one down as they bring Gatson over from the offensive side. To the defensive side to the offensive side, and there was no room to run over there on the left side.
They've been in that formation twice in power I and for the pro look or back in the day look, really, and it's been toss sweep both times.
Yeah, they got the end reached over there, but the rest of the crew came over like they're supposed to. I'll tell you what, this Murphy crew looks just so much better as a group. Coach Barnes has done a good job.
Yeah, they've been in lots of close games.
You know, he's probably trying to change the culture and get them to learn how to win. Theodore have that expectation of winning.
Sure.
Quickly runs one more in. Looked like they should have had a flag or some movement prior to the snap.
Don't ask for him, Jim.
Thomas.
Not after last week.
Yeah. Thomas watches this one bounce out at the 16. See what's going on in Region 1. But yep. McGill unbeaten, Fairhope unbeaten in the region, and Davidson and Fairhope playing right now, and Fairhope leads that one 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. And you see then you've got Theodore, Foley, and Murphy all scrambling around, trying to get that last playoff spot. McGill 6-0 on the year. Just keep rolling right along. And you have a McGill-Fairhope season finale on the schedule this year, which could decide the region championship game. Who knows? Maybe at UTV 44. Right side give and a pickup of 2 as they go back to Lamar Harris. This has been 2 defensive teams just slugging it out so far for a quarter and 1 minute.
Yeah, and I think the better talent at the line of scrimmage is on the defensive side of the line of scrimmage, and linebackers with both teams.
Robinson, we've seen him be a little more apt to pull it down maybe this week than we saw in the McGill game.
He's got good wheels.
Dumps it out to the near side and dropped. A.J. Lewis in a late whistle. Thinking that ball might have been alive for a second, but Lewis, 6'4", 215. Again, Kansas, Mississippi State. Lots of people interested in that young man.
Theodore turning around, playing some good D.
And both these teams have been in second and third and long a lot so far here tonight.
Credit the defenses. Until they trick them, it has been ho-hum and even.
Christian Sellers and Lewis to the bottom of the screen. Jefferson up top, looking to set up the screen. Robinson just has to heave that one away.
Yeah,
Took a big hit all the way back to the goal line. And Murphy's offense sputters again on this drive, and Theodore's defense, they sniffed that one out.
It's been status quo throughout the game. Both defenses in third down. They're just not sitting back and playing coverage. Somebody extra is coming from somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, but I think if you're Theodore, you're going to keep looking at this great field position you've had here in the first half. They're going to have it probably on the plus side of the 50 again, and they've just not been able to put any points on the board.
Yeah, they'll look back on this in the first half and say, hey, they've squandered some opportunities.
Thomas, a low, like a 2-iron of a punt there as it went out of bounds at the 42. So great field position here for Theodore.
Classroom time.
Theodore, our trivia question here tonight. What historic accomplishment was achieved last week by both Baldwin County High School and Fairhope High School?
So recent history, huh?
Yes, and it was, they did not play each other. It was not in the same game. But they both with a big historic accomplishment.
I'm stumped.
Not so quick to pipe up with the answer this week, are you there, Mr.
No,
Luckett?
I'm stumped. I'll keep my hand down and Dan can put his up.
Yeah, mine's by my side.
Dan's staring at the screen like it's an algebra problem. And I'm with you.
No X and Y's are in there.
Bobcats. Now as they bring Gatson back in, and now a flag at the end of the play as Gatson got to the 34. And see that flag at the very end of the play. Usually that's going to tack on 15 more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get one of the defenders there for a little blow. Hopefully it's not a closed fist blow, because he may be sitting over here watching with us.
Gatson does a good job to bounce off that initial tackle there. There's a little something there at the end. But
yeah, right
Chase
over the pile
Wilson,
there.
It's going to move this one down near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, no, Coach Barnes is not going to like that out of his kids.
That's what he talked about after that.
After the play was over, personal foul on the defense. 15 yards tacked to the end of the run, and it will be first down.
Puts it at the 19, a long and long injury attorney's first down for
Clear and kite, concise
yeah.
explanation by the white hat.
I believe that's Keith Baudet, who's our referee tonight.
Well, here's the improved field position you were looking for.
Fabian Williams lined up to the bottom of the screen. Andrews looking that way, and a pass interference. And
wow, he was running a comeback, and the quarterback was expecting the fade or 9 route, and certainly uncatchable football, but they may call holding.
Yeah, I think holding would be the call here rather than pass interference, because he wasn't going to get close to that ball.
So do you fit the call to what would make it justified?
Maybe.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. They called holding, because certainly if you call pass interference, totally uncatchable football.
Right.
But we knew we had to call something.
Well, those two were just playing catch there. I mean, there was one wide out, and he looked him up, one-on-one coverage.
Yep.
But they weren't on the same page, it appears.
So back-to-back penalties against Murphy have moved the Panthers.
Charles Vaughn with the ball there. The referee, one of the refs tonight, former Blunt quarterback.
Long and long injury attorneys first down to the 9-yard line. And it'll be first and goal. situation here.
Holding on the defense. That's a half the distance penalty. It is first down and short from this yard line.
Oh, it is, yeah, first down and very short, actually, about a foot. It's rare you get the first and short.
Yeah, I know. Explanation.
Well, at least we got something this week, an explanation at all.
Ball was at the 19, so half the distance, and they put Williams in motion. They pitched it out, a lot of room on the right side, and turning the corner, Gatson breaks a tackle. He's in for a Bobcat touchdown.
That's the way you do it. You make one move on one defender, and then you run over the second one, and you're in the end zone. Jim Cox calling your name.
And me too, because I met Grandma before the game.
And she said, call his name.
She said, we're here to watch number 9. I said, yeah, we know him from the pregame show. Nice guy.
Yeah.
She said, humble kid.
Did a good job there.
Hard worker.
Coach Cutler said, might see some of those defensive starters, skill players come over and get some spot play on the offensive side of the ball.
To get something going.
Yep. And the PAT by Marcus Lynn is good, and Theodore has tied the game at 7, 9:29 to go. Gatson with the score and a stiff arm and a Bobcat touchdown. So that time Theodore does take advantage of the great field position. They take advantage of a couple of Murphy penalties as well. They only have to go 42 yards on 4 plays, and Gatson with the touchdown, and 7-7 is where we are at, and Theodore needed that one. They hadn't had really anything going offensively.
No, and I think you're right. We could see some more of an infusion of some of those best skill athletes on defense finding their way to the offensive side to force the issue a little bit.
Yeah, and you want to pick and choose early in the game where you play them so that they don't wear them out toward the end. But
That's
it's a big region game, so all hands on deck. Best 11.
Lynn sends it to the near side. Anthony Miller turns the corner at the 20 all the way up to the 35-yard line before he's brought down. Some excitement on special teams there for the Murphy Panthers. And speaking of the Murphy Panthers, let's go down to Tara. She's got our Coastal Alabama Community College Spotlight. Going to talk about all the great things going on at Murphy. Tara.
I sure am, Jim. I'm with the principal, Joe Toomey. And Joe, you guys have some great programs at Murphy right now. The International Baccalaureate program. Tell us about that.
Well, it's something we're really excited about. You know, we have 100% of our seniors get academic scholarships, and their average ACT is 29 in the IB program.
Wow. So about how many students are participating in that program, Joe?
It's about 100 a year, but seniors, it's about 25 or 30.
That's incredible. And then talk about some of the other great programs that you guys offer at Murphy High School.
Well, we're really excited to have University of Alabama for the early college. Our kids get up to 30 credit hours before they get out. They're basically juniors.
And then real briefly, recently, Murphy's campus was actually ranked in one of the top campuses across the nation, #1 in Alabama. What is it like being a part of the Murphy Panthers?
It is the most beautiful campus in Alabama and probably in the Southeast, and it's a tradition-rich place that it's just full of history.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tara. Boy, Keyshawn Gatson, he was still fired up from the touchdown with a big hit there defensively. And now over the middle, contact and nearly intercepted is A.J. Lewis, the intended receiver, but
Tyrone Hall thought they were throwing to him, and that's the way you've got to think on defense. Hey, he beat the receiver to the route or to that position, hit him right in his chest, and he should came up with an interception there. He's going to be kicking himself the rest of the night about that one.
4th straight incompletion for Maurice Robinson. And 3rd and 7 here for the Panthers. They've had the one big play offensively. Past that, they haven't done much on the offensive side of the football.
Not at all.
Breland Manley in the backfield. And Robinson will roll out, looking downfield, looks for Lewis, and that one goes over his head. Now 5 in a row incomplete. And a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, Murphy had the right play call to roll away from the pressure. They just kind of guessed right, had everything they wanted, just didn't execute.
And he's 6'4", receiver 6'4", 215, and that one well over his head.
Well, Robinson can run it. Also, when he does throw, he's got some talented players and big targets out there.
Thomas will stand at the 25 to punt. Tillman back at his 25. And it's going to back up Murphy more with a pre-snap infraction. Down to 8.5 to go in the second quarter.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
The Viger Wolves with a early 14-0 lead over Jackson.
Oh, that's a shocker, huh?
It's another team that's had a lot of close calls that haven't gone their way. I'm talking about
the
Viger.
football game, yep.
Thomas with good kick. Tillman fair catches it at the 30. Good kick by Thomas to push the Bobcats back to the 30. More of our friends bringing you the UA Early College Game of the Week here on UTV 44. The Sheriff's Offices of Mobile and Baldwin County. Also the Drug Education Council. And they've been with us a lot of years here on Friday nights. And all those years, Vic Lockett's still yet to have a speeding ticket in Baldwin County.
Hey, don't push it now. Huey Hall Smack, he's a good guy. I like him.
And part of that might be because Vic's an honest driver, never goes above the limit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they push it here and there.
Pitch to Tukes. Tukes up to the 38-yard line. Tukes 5'11", 200-pound senior.
Yeah, it looks like he's running concerned about the fumbles. He's covering that football up when he gets in traffic, but I'd like to see him just turn loose and run because they had great execution and blocking set up.
Here's what Theodore's done this year. So coming off the open week last week, and Murphy, and then a big rivalry game against Bryant, then McGill in the second to last week of the season. They go over to Foley, but you see they've not given up more than 17 points in any game this year. Their 2 losses, Fairhope and Davidson, one by 3 and one by 17. The middle, and Roy Tukes is going to pick up another Bobcat first down. That's a long injury attorney's first down.
Tukes he's creating injuries out there.
He is creating his holes as well.
We heard that one all the way up here. Davidson with a field goal, now 7-3. Fairhope with a lead over Davidson over in Baldwin County tonight. And right here it's 7-7 with 7.5 to go in the first half. Trevor Andrews pull it down and run as well. He's got a 40 yards, his longest run this year. Look at it, throw it back to him, and Andrews can't hold on to it. There's a little traffic over there, but if Andrews might have been able to get that one just a little more in front of him, he had some grass up on the far side.
He did. Very catchable ball, though, still.
He's a 4'7", 40 kid, so he's not slow.
Well, he ran away from that pass there. He was a little fast forward.
Gatson, he had pressure coming, so he had to kind of float it, but
yeah, very catchable. But Murphy, with a lot of bodies in the area, it was not a clean play all the way, although it could have been a big one.
And now we'll see some Wildcat for the first time, but
they'll get him with substitution violation.
They only had 11 out on the field.
And the referee threw the flag for something he did not like. He'll consult one of the other ones to see if he waves it off.
I think he's going to pick it up here. Yep. No flag there, so good job by the referee and the side judge getting together on that one. To
have a consultation and say, hey, no foul, no harm, let's play football.
All right, so first time to see the Wildcat. The direct snap, Tyrone Hall. And Hall pushing forward out near midfield, and Hall One of those players coming over from the defensive side.
Yeah, and he cut it up with some authority there. I like that. Hey, the play maybe was designed to go outside. He saw the crowd out there. I'll cut it up right here. I'm not afraid of any contact. Puts him down a very third and manageable down.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. Hall, starting safety, almost had an interception earlier here in the second quarter.
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago, right?
Yeah, a hard count by Trevor Andrews, and he draws Norman Weaver offside. And Norman Weaver was guest on the pregame show on Wednesday night.
Good kid, and just made a bad mistake right there. Give Theodore a cheap, easy first down.
He is definitely one of the favorites of Coach Mo Barnes. He made no debate about that. He really likes the way this kid plays, although he makes a mistake right there.
So the penalty gives the Bobcats a long injury attorney's first down.
Now, you know what I hate as a player? When you make a mistake, then they take you out of the football game. Hey, what about playing the next play? Let's just play the next play.
Andrews rolling to the right side, fires it off and dropped. Had a chance
Very
there.
good pass.
Yeah, sold it well out of the backfield, and Randall Johnston couldn't hold on to it. Wasn't sure if that's the way that play was designed. It looked a little. Let's watch the backfield, see if you maybe.
Yeah, the back kind of went
to the left instead of coming over here to the right.
Yeah, the fake was just an ollie. But maybe the back saw something and saw all that penetration, was just like, hey, forget the fake. Let me just get the block going, because they are taught that as well.
Well, they give you a lot of looks offensively. They are definitely what you would call multiple.
2nd and 10. Pitch it back off Gatson. Gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Bounced off a hit. And
as soon as he got that pitch, he had all kind of partners, and they were not friendly foes.
No, they were dressed differently.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, they shut it down on the outside. They shut it down on the inside. And one of the things, just technique looks really good. I mean, they had their shoulders square, and they broke down, stood right there and wait for the back to come to them.
Yeah,
that's coaching.
Adams did a good job to slow him down and force him back to the inside there. And
others were waiting.
Yeah, they come back with Hall here in the Wild Bobcat. Safety wants to heave it up for a little one-on-one. Incomplete down the far side.
Well, Jalen Adams was up to the task. He was sitting back there and waiting, huh?
Faison Locke. I mean, you had the safety throwing it, the starting safety throwing it to the starting cornerback over there.
Yep.
Then Eric Collier kind of gave us a little of that. When we talked to him on the game, he said he's going to bring some of those folks over here. And it'll bring up 4th down for the Bobcats. Heat timeout, 5.5 to go in the second quarter. It's a good one here on UTV 44. Theodore and Murphy knotted up at 7 on our game of the week.
And help support your Bobcats. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to the Mobile Bank National Estuary Program for their continued
Murphy Band getting ready for their halftime show. 7-7. Their team scored on their first play of the game when they had the ball. And since then, that's been it from them offensively. And a high snap.
There it goes. We talked about it.
Way over the head of Fabian Williams. And Williams will just get pushed out of bounds back to the 32. That's the 3rd high snap and the very highest
punt
of the high. Yeah.
Every punt has been a high snap, and we knew it was going to catch up to him pretty soon.
Oh, we talked about the great field position.
It happened.
Theodore's had so much of the first half, but how about this one? And boy, Fabian Williams had no chance on that.
He just had a chance to survey the damage and said, well, I'll just get all I can get out of it.
Yeah, maybe he's just not used to trying to kick that thing on the run, because he never even gave that a shot.
Yeah, I don't think he had one. He'd caught his leg in there. He may have been watching him for the rest of the night with us.
At the 37, here come the Panthers.
Let's see if they can take advantage of great field position.
Robinson looking right side now over the middle, and it's dropped. That's exactly how he wanted it. Anton Noble, big wide receiver, big body, 6'3", 210, and behind the linebackers in front of the secondary, and couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, they came all out with those inside backers, so he had the middle of the field to himself, but he just couldn't get enough on it from all the duress and pressure he was under.
6th straight incomplete pass for Robinson, but tough to put that one on the quarterback.
Yeah, he's got tall receivers, and he throws that one closer to the shins, and it just can't go down and dig it out.
Hey, sit there. Open up now, Kendall. You got to open.
2nd and 10 pitch off to Miller. Miller looking to get the corner. Great open field tackle over there on the far side, and the ball came loose. Bobcats saying they had a Cameron Brown. What a job by the corner to come in and take out the legs of Anthony Miller.
Yeah, Miller thought he had something going here, but then that corner shows up there and forced to play right there.
He was down, so 3rd and long coming up. Speaking of long, Janie Long watching the game in Mobile tonight, enjoying a little Murphy Theodore broadcast tonight. The very better half of Bennett Long of Long and Long, one of our first down sponsors here.
I got you.
3rd and 9. And Coach Barnes and the Panthers will take a timeout here. Boy, they'd really like to make something happen with this gift of great field position.
Yeah, they don't want to squander this opportunity, so they're going to make sure they got the right play call and everybody's settled down and ready to go.
See Murphy here started the year with that road game out at Baker, lost that one, then won at Bryant. The game we did here on UTV 44, just a 1-touchdown game against McGill, and beat Mary Montgomery, and then you see the 2 losses by a total of 5 points in the last 2 weeks. And again, looked like they had that Saraland game won, gave up a 4th and 35. And late in the 4th quarter, Jack West with a big completion there. And then last week just kind of came out and fell behind 20-0 and then rallied and had a chance to win the game, went for 2 with 1:46 left. And from all accounts, they had it and just dropped the pass and the 2-point conversion in the end zone.
Yeah, this overall record in this season for Murphy, the way that we're viewing it, could be very different with just a couple of a bounce of the ball this way or that way. And even in the game we saw them lose by 7 points to McGill, they acquitted themselves very well. And keep in mind that McGill team is still undefeated this deep into the season.
Yep.
What one famous coach saying is, you are
what your record says you are.
What your record says you are. And they're building this year, I think. Coach Barnes getting his grip on this team.
Bobcat showing blitz. Robinson has some time, and he's going to be drugged down just at the 33-yard line. Boy, I think he'd go for it here.
Now, that's going to be the challenge for Coach Barnes. You know, we're talking about building and getting his hands on this team. He's not going to have this number 2 next year, so he's going to have to start from scratch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd like to win some games while you got him.
Yeah, you maximize your opportunity, right?
Yes.
That's another Jaden McCann's another sophomore with the tackle, so they're going to punt it from the 34. I thought maybe they'd give it a go here, but we're going to see if Darnell Thomas. Now Thomas is the backup quarterback. He can throw the football.
Well, they've shown that they will be tricky Panthers, so we'll see now.
They need to be fast Panthers. Play clock at 1. They get it off, and Thomas wants to pooch it, and it bounds into the end zone, so it's a net of 14 yards on the punt. And Murphy can't take advantage of the great field position. More of our UA Early College Game of the Week. Sponsors here on UTV 44. Greer's since 1916. And also Alabama Orthopedic Clinic, bringing you our player of the game each and every week here on UTV 44. Theodore with 3.5 to go. There's Coach Eric Collier.
Both these offenses have just had a scratch and claw and kick and scream for anything they've gotten, aside from that one big Murphy play, the flea flicker that got them their 7. It's just been tough winning the line of scrimmage.
I'm going to call it, these defenses are making them earn everything they get.
Andrews give on the far side, and Ray Tukes going to pick up.
I think Tukes' primary thing in his mind is ball security.
Yeah.
He's running with 2 hands on that ball. Sometimes you got to just turn loose and run with that thing, you know, get it out of your way of your legs. And that hole opens up like that. You got to get on through there.
33 yards for Tukes tonight and 10 on that carries. Another long injury attorney's first down. And Tukes, the big senior. Now Andrews, pressure coming from the backside, looking to heave it. Looking for Fabian Williams, and that's going to be incomplete.
Very nice catch, just not in the field of play.
Good job, Michael Coleman, the senior DB, staying stride for stride with Fabian Williams there.
Trevor had a little something on that. Just didn't keep it inside where he can get it. He sees him deep back there behind this guy. Tries to get it to him, but he had to come back for it and just ran out of real estate. Beautiful catch.
Great catch, yeah.
2nd and 10 for Fabian Williams. And the rest of the Bobcats, they were off last week, so chance to work on a lot of things during that open week each team has. Andrews completes that one. Far side, able to get it off, and that's Jordan O'Neal, his 3rd catch of the season. He was immediately wrapped up on the play, but O'Neal going to get up to the 41, and that'll be good for another Bobcat first down and another long injury attorney's first down.
I'll tell you what Trevor Andrews is. He's another kid that can play quarterback.
Efficient.
We're seeing this year.
Yeah, he saw that and he kind of cocked it there. He didn't want to put it in traffic, so he let the receiver come uncovered and then go ahead and sling it to him.
Inside 3 minutes here in the first half, and Tukes slips a tackle, stays on his feet up to the 47-yard line. As
Tukes is just daring you to tackle him.
Yeah, he
is looking for contact.
You can see him as a great short yardage back at 5'11", 200 pounds. He's ripped off a 46-yard run earlier this season for his longest of the year.
He comes near this booth, I'm getting out of the way.
I'll tell you.
Lockett, if you're not the lead blocker, I mean, we're in trouble here in the booth.
When Tukes coming at you, he's looking for tacklers.
A lot of effort from that kid every snap.
Give it again to Tukes and into Murphy territory and all the way up to the 46-yard line. Another long injury attorney's first down.
Yeah, he must have heard me. Now he's running, looking for a hole and not necessarily just got his head down and covering up the football. Making some juke moves, bobbing and weaving till the good gets even.
He's a compact 200 pounds, and he really doesn't give you a whole lot to grab at, and he's on top of you before you know it.
And if you grab that 200 pounds, he's bringing it with him.
He is.
Inside handoff, inside handoff, inside handoff. Maybe chance to go up top here to
that's
big
what
receiver O'Neal on the far side.
That's a logical suggestion, Jim.
They'll bring Tukes over the sideline.
This time they tried a little sputterbug and see if he could get some room inside.
Nothing doing there as they give it to Gatson again.
Under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Minute 40.
And Theodore thinking, all right, we got fine on timeouts. Going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yep.
But they're going to have to try to move it downfield a little bit here as we're down to a minute and a half.
Get off the ball, baby, let's go.
To go. Play action. Andrews comes to the near side and unable to hold on to that one. Randall Johnston with a second drop of the night tonight.
Another good pass by Trevor.
It was, but I thought that Ross was in pretty good shape there too, defensively.
It was good pass, good defense.
Andrews
and hands just didn't pull it in.
He's an accurate quarterback.
Andrews plays
a little high.
Just kind of closed his hands before the ball got there.
Andrews
got to look it in.
Third base and shortstop on the Bobcat baseball team.
They're really good players, what we hear.
3rd and 9 at the 45. Tillman goes in motion. They fake it to him and want the screen out of the backfield. And Gatson able to get it on the bobble, but all the way back to the 48 is Trayvon Ross.
What a job by that safety to come up there and make that play solo.
Safety on safety. Yeah. That's what Gatson is on the other side of the ball.
Yep, Gatson a good job to corral that pass, and then Ross, he's a playmaker for this Murphy team. The Panthers will send Garrett Hamilton back, and Theodore just happy to eat up as much of the play clock as they can. And finally, with it down at 9, Murphy takes a timeout, try to save themselves a little time to get the ball back on offense with 37 seconds. We'll hear from both bands at halftime coming up on our Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show. And more folks that bring you Our UTV 44 game of the week. Coastal Alabama Community College, our educator spotlight every week. So Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show. Harley's as low as $99 a month.
Yeah, Jim, I think you'd look good with your hair blowing in the wind on a big Harley.
Yeah, it wouldn't look good for long, Vic. Neither me, the Harley, nor the hair, I would be honest with you.
Well,
Smart enough to know that.
Well, you probably don't want to do it because you can't fish and ride a Harley at the same time. No rod and reel with that. You don't do that with a helmet.
I appreciate everybody that has great Harley riding skills. I don't have that in the toolbox. Great kick.
Yeah, they've corrected their snap, so he got a good kickoff.
Wow, and it's going to bound all the way back, and it goes into the end zone.
So, remember the coaching staff?
Yeah, trying to hustle. Wanted Hall to get out there and touch it up, but it'll be out at the 20 with 26.7 seconds left before the half. You know, it's a tie game, but it feels like Theodore has the advantage in the game, but it's just tied.
Yeah, and we'll look over some stats at halftime, but neither team has really been able to establish anything on offense.
Well, Theodore had that decent drive, I think, which makes you feel like the game should be leaning their way.
Mm-hmm. Murphy's got some explosive players on the outside, though, and they can make a big play anytime.
Need one, and they go with Darnell Thomas as the quarterback, as they don't have Robinson in there.
Well, let's hope nothing's bothering him physically.
I think they're just going to let the clock run out, and that's going to be the end of the first half.
Well, it's kind of like a 0-0 game. These coaches will be saying in the locker room, I promise you that. So they are going to just let themselves get out of the half and come out and play football.
7-7, Jim, is the next best thing.
That's right. And let's go down the sideline. Tara's got Coach Collier.
Coach, Murphy jumped out early, scoring on the first play of the game. How are you able to settle down as a team and get back in this game?
Well, first time we've been down this season. First 2 games of the season, we're down early. We came back. We just got to go back and settle in. And, we had a bad snap on the punt. Other than that, we're playing fine. Murphy's a good ball club, So bottom line is this. We just got to settle down and do what we can do and execute and go make the plays that we work on every day. That's the big thing.
And you said Kendall Adams was going to be one of the best defensive players you'd seen all year. How have you been able to contain him at the line of scrimmage?
We're trying to stay away from him. We'll run to the other side and do whatever it takes to do it. But, we're handling him okay right now. But you know what? He's a great player. And I've learned a long time ago, stay away from the great ones.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tara. Every week at this time in our halftime show, we're able to give you your player of the week, who you voted on. And last week, you voted on Jeremiah Hickson, Spanish Fort Toros.
Making a play right there.
Yeah, 4 catches, 46-yard punt return for a TD. Well, I mean, there were so many kids that could have been players of the game in this game last week.
Including the losing team.
Yeah, the game was just a highlight reel of amazing offensive plays. And one game that we will not soon forget.
Yeah, here's Jeremiah Hickson with a punt return that he'll take.
This was a good play by that young man right there.
Back
just
for the
finding the hole
and makes a great move right there.
And finishing the drive there.
In for the touchdown. What a crazy game that was. Before Spanish Fort hangs on to get the victory. Go to UTV44TV.com tonight and you can vote on your favorite player of the game, brought to you by Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. And we'll come back and we'll hear the Murphy Band on the Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show. 7-7 here at the half in Theodore on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show here on UTV 44. 7-7 Murphy and Theodore. Let's get out of the band. We got Halloween coming up. We got a little thriller here from the Murphy Band.
Let your other hand go.
We would like to thank the Theodore Band under the direction of Dr. Byron Hall for their warm hospitality, and we wish them the best of luck with their show tonight.
Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show. We heard the Murphy Band. We're at 7-7 here in Theodore. Let's go down and hear the Theodore Band on senior night.
Wayans and Jay Farrow of SNL performing at the Mitchell Center Arena October 19th. Gates open at 6:30 p.m.
There you see our halftime score, 7-7, Murphy and Theodore. It's been a very even game dominated by the defenses, and Bobcats able to take advantage of a short field to score their touchdown. Murphy on a kind of a trick play to open the game up, and they got it going. First play from scrimmage is how they got the game going with that score. But Vic, I mean, you love it, defensive football. That's what we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, other than that trick play, it's been pretty much ho-hum and even between the two teams.
All right, so let's go down. We'll get you some halftime stats momentarily, but they're ready to kick off here in the second half. And we'll get out and take a look as Murphy will have to kick off to start in a high short kick and bobbled by the Bobcats, but then breaking a tackle out around the 40, and that's Hall across midfield out to the 47-yard line of Murphy. And again, more great field position coming up for Theodore here. You take a look what happened here in the first half. First play from scrimmage. See the pitch back there from Lamar Harris back to Robinson, who was able to get Michael Jefferson's 66-yard touchdown. That opened it up. And the player that Dan highlighted, Samaje Porter, getting in the backfield and bringing down Manley on that one. And Theodore trailed most of the first half, and they got a late touchdown in the second quarter here. And it was Keyshawn Gatson coming over from his safety position. We saw him more and more on offense in the second quarter. And he took that in for a score. And Theodore right up the middle. They go right back to the big banging back Roy Tukes. He's going to pick up another first down. There we see the stats in the first half. Just 107 yards of total offense for Theodore, just 90. And boy, Murphy, 66 of those coming on the first play. So after that, they were really shut down by the Bobcats. No turnovers in the first half. Robinson just 2 of 8 in the first half.
So far, just 2 penalties by Theodore.
Yep, Williams playing well defensively. And let's go to Tara. She was able to catch up with Coach Barnes after halftime. Tara.
I sure was, Jim. He said that overall he's actually pleased with how hard his guys are playing, and defensively they're right where they need to be. 7-7 going into the second half. It's like a clean slate, but offensively they have got to sustain drives. Their O-line has got to block up front as well if they're going to win this game.
So delay a game penalty against Theodore. 1st and 15 now, and our statistician David Sharp passing along Murphy. Only 8 minutes and 30 seconds time of possession in that first half. Theodore, 17 minutes and 28 seconds.
That's a lot of 3 and outs.
You're right. And even the one time they did score, it was a one-play drive.
1 and out.
Yeah, this says a lot right here. They're first and 15, and they run it off tackle. So very conservative game plan by Theodore. I think it was notable that neither team had a turnover in the first half. Yep. That's been a problem for both teams so far this season.
3 yards in a cloud of dust. We're going back to the future.
Yeah, Kendall Adams has played well tonight up front. For Murphy, able to get in on that tackle of Tukes. 2nd and 11.
You know, Coach Collier kind of gives me that vibe when I met him pregame.
I would agree. Kind of an old school guy.
Yep.
Tillman up top. Instead, they want to come to the near side. Fabian Williams makes the catch with contact, and he's going to be to the 30.
There's a flag.
Yeah, the flag was right before he made the catch. Williams, the senior.
He's probably trying to not give him that inside real clean, which is what these corners are taught. So
Coleman,
a little frisky, huh?
Coleman was there up tight.
Yep, gonna get him some pass interference. A little too frisky right before the ball gets there.
Yep, pass interference is the call against the Panthers, and we saw that those 2 penalties against the Panthers helping Theodore get their lone touchdown in the first half, an unsportsmanlike, and then a pass interference.
You know, I referenced that time that
During the play, pass interference on the defense. That's a 15 yards previous spot. It will be first down.
when I saw QB Country, David Morris, and a group of young quarterbacks a few years ago, Jack West among them, Chance Newman also. This guy was there.
Trevor Andrews.
And you can see he's got a strong arm, got a real good idea of what the position's about.
Long and long injury attorneys first down on the 15-yard penalty for the pass interference. Whistled against Michael Coleman, and now the Bobcats are back in business at the 22 early on here in the third quarter.
And give it to Tukey a couple of times.
Tukey, is Vic Lockett has nicknamed him, and Tukey will get up to the 20.
Yeah, again, losing his footing.
Number 20, Tukey to the 20.
He's a big man and he's a load, but he's got to have his wheels good right there.
He's also one of those backs just grinds on you all game, and by the middle of the fourth quarter, you're really tired of tackling him, right?
Yeah, also he's got some quick moves in the hole too. He's not just battering ram straight ahead. He'll dip and duck and try to find a better crease.
Yeah, he showed us a little swirl there toward the end of that first half.
Billy Flanagan comes in with double tight ends at fullback, rolling out, chasing to the near side, and Andrews, well, it's got to be intentional grounding. Anybody around him?
Well, he may have got out of the pocket.
Yeah,
he had 19 bearing down on him, and he was just running for his life and looking for somewhere to get rid of the football to save the line.
Doesn't matter. I don't think it matters in high school, Vic, about
inside the box or not.
Right. There was no receiver anywhere around Andrews, and
oh no, all the flow was to the opposite side.
Adams was coming after him. Juwan Adams.
And he immediately went the other way.
Yeah, right.
Okay, they're having a little trouble with Adams, but a guy that talented, that good on the outside, actually a defensive tackle.
Loss of down. Intentional groundings are
killers.
During the play, intentional grounding on the offense. That penalty is spotted from the spot of the foul. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down. It will be third down.
Almost looks a little more than 5. They counted off.
Well, it's from the spot where he threw it.
Oh, is that what he meant?
Yeah. So
okay.
All the way back to the 35. 3rd and 22. Here for the Bobcats.
What is it?
Push, let's go. What do you call here? 3rd and Highway 90.
Get up in there.
Andrews comes to the near side. He'll get one complete to Hunter Tillman. Tillman down to the 24-yard line, and fourth and about 12 coming up here.
When you call a safe little play like this, just stand up and throw the quick little slant. Should be through corner inside.
And you get a chance now, Vic, to more manageable. You can try and convert on 4th down.
Even if you don't.
Well, that's yeah. You kind of got a wide margin of manageable there. What is that? 4th and 12.
Yeah.
4th and 12. But I mean, what else do you do here?
Yeah, so you
punt right here, or if you could, or go for a field goal.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll try they want to try the long field goal. I think
I don't think you
don't
when the ball's at the 24.
If you don't get it, you turn it over and you've got them pinned back, down around the 20 or inside the 20.
And you certainly don't have a field goal kicker that's going to threaten this. By the way, thanks to Thyre Cadell Law Offices, a sponsor of high school football game of the week. Personal injury, car accidents, slip and fall accidents, social security concerns, workers' comp, including shipyard injuries. They can help you out. Thyre Cadell Law Offices, a supporter of the UTV 44 high school football game of the week.
How about this surprising score? Gulf Shores in the third quarter leading Daphne 21-17. Mobile Christian leading Hillcrest Evergreen 20-18.
That Daphne game sounds like there was some turnovers.
Leroy on top of St. Luke's 21-14. Spanish Fort all over Foley 42-7 at the half. Viger 20-0 over Jackson 19-14. St. Paul's leading Citronelle. Region championship on the line there. Baker trailing Bryant 14-10. Still 10-7. Last update we had Davidson and Fairhope. Bayside leads Cottage Hill 16-7. And here, Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Keyhouse in the truck, David Sharp, our statistician. I'll tell you it's 7-7 with 4th and 12 coming up for the Bobcats. Andrews looking, pump fake. Now wants to go over the middle, hangs it up, looking for a play in the end zone. It's broken up. Jalen Adams, the senior corner, draped all over.
Didn't bite for anything.
Fabian Williams, yep. Tried the shoulder fake, and so so you turn it over to the 22, but taking a shot into the end zone here.
Yeah, he's not going for the okie doke. He's right with the receiver. Just couldn't make a play on the ball. And the receiver couldn't either.
And by luck, they almost ended up with 6 right there.
You said it was manageable, so I was going to sit back and see how they manage it.
Well, I just thought, as opposed to, what else do you have? If you don't have the field goal kicker that can do it, why would you punt from the 24?
Yeah, but a 41-yard attempt, field goal attempt, that's a long kick.
If you've got
that's what makes it unmanageable.
Well, if you've got a guy that you feel comfortable with, but not everybody's got one of those kickers on their roster.
I'm going to double down. That's what makes it unmanageable.
But what choice would you have, though?
You have none.
You going to punt it from the 24?
You have none.
So here come the Panthers, and at quarterback, and gives it off to Braylon Manley. No, he doesn't. He keeps it himself, and Robinson up the near side and steps out of bounds. And he's going to be right at the sticks, and I believe he's going to have another long injury. Attorney's first down. He is. We haven't seen a lot of that. We've seen him scramble some, but not where it's drawn up for him to keep it and turn around and go.
Well, he's going to probably have to do a little more of this in this game to kind of break the defense down.
Yeah, and I don't think that wasn't drawn up either, Jim. He did not like what he saw. They were going for a throw. His guy was covered up, and he just went opposite of the pressure and took off, and he's talented enough to make something out of that.
Just the second long injury. Attorney's first down tonight for Murphy, and Braylon Manley gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more.
And he hadn't gotten many carries tonight either.
No, they've kept him pretty quiet. He hasn't had the ball much, and when he hasn't
had any room.
No room to go. I mean, what's going on up front? Both these defensive lines are doing a really nice job.
What I would tell Robinson, go to your first and second read, and, kind of like Jalen Hurts doing at Alabama. If it's not there, just get all you can get and go upfield and use your talent, son. Because these defenses are playing each other sound.
I read it first.
Braylon Manley pick up 2, and 3rd and long coming up here for the Panthers. We've said a lot for them tonight.
I'm just watching on the outside too. These teams are really competing. These DBs and wideouts are getting to know each other.
Yeah, they're not exchanging Christmas cards out there, are they?
No, they're competing, and that's good to see that Murphy is doing that, because any play, be it even a busted play, if they get a hat on the outside, they can make a big play with the talent they've got.
Yeah, your block could end up being the block that springs them.
3rd and 8 for the Panthers. Robinson steps up in the pocket, pulls it down. He's taking Lockett's advice, and he's going to get the first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, might as well do that because, like I said, these defenses, both of them, are playing these offenses very sound. So what breaks down a good defense is that running quarterback, because you can have 10 on 10, and then when he goes out there, it's one-on-one, and a guy like him can make that one-on-one guy miss, and he's hitting his head on the goalpost.
Long and long injury attorney's first down for the Panthers, and they're up to the 46.
Nothing breaks down a defense other than a running quarterback. The best coordinators in the world, they can't draw up stuff to stop those running quarterbacks.
In the backfield, Hester.
Other than stopping him before he gets going.
Drops Robinson all the way back. But great play by Hester from the defensive end spot.
That was an ironic assessment from Vic Lockett,
right?
Considering the next play we all saw.
And then you get it thrown out. Back to the drawing board.
But, man, what do you see on the line of scrimmage? These defenses are really just penetrating and taking it to these offensive lines.
Absolutely. They're whooping them at the point of attack, and they're playing on the offensive side of the football, which is giving the offenses just holy heck and trying to get off and get a play going.
Tamaje Porter comes out, and let's see if Murphy notices that and tries to go to the spot. The Murphy's going to have to hurry, and they had Darnell Thomas in at quarterback after that hit on Robinson, and play clock was down.
I think just said timeout.
Yeah, play clock was down to 2, and he didn't like where that was going because 2nd and 14 was about to become 2nd and 19.
Well, they already behind the sticks like you see and you're describing. He didn't want him to get any deeper, especially with his backup quarterback in. You know, the starter had to come out because his helmet came off, I assume. So he didn't want to put his quarterback in a deeper hole.
Now, this time of year, it's like it's the weekend of Shrimp Fest, and we're used to the weather cooling off a little bit. we had to dodge a shower or two here before the game. It's really humid. It's June humid, and it's very warm tonight.
Well, Dan, you're making a very good point, but don't start your point off talking about food because I'm dwelling on that point, and the heat's okay.
Yeah, you lost
Lockett.
You lost Lockett at Shrimp Fest.
Shrimp, brother. I don't eat much seafood, but I'm sure I can find me some farm-raised catfish down there.
You could. You find a little bit of everything.
Euros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been there.
Jim, you didn't think I'll eat Euros. We eat Euros out in Pritchard too, Jim.
I love Euros.
I know you probably, yeah. In Chicago, it's a big Greek area up there, isn't it?
It is. Vic Lockett.
So, but yeah, love me some Euros, my friend.
I love them. Love them.
So I figured you only eat anything similar to that would be a fish taco.
I do love the fish tacos as well. 2nd and 14 after the timeout.
That's the last time I bring up weather.
Yeah.
And bring up food together.
Darnell Thomas. Well, they never got the snap off, and everybody had the snap count except the center.
Well, it starts with him.
Yeah, and part of it, you have Darnell Thomas in at quarterback, and because you said Robinson had to go out after he lost his helmet, and now they'll bring Robinson back, and so after all that, we end up at 2nd and 19.
Well, since they called the timeout, he's not able to still come back in.
I was wondering about that. They didn't send him out. I thought they would have sent him in if that were the case.
But the rule maybe stands he must miss a play.
Yeah, so now he'd come in, and now there's some confusion. Robinson had come in, and then he went.
And he's over there talking to the coach, get the play, and he's coming back out.
Robinson had
still
come
out
on the field and
then
went over on the far sideline, so they'll keep with Darnell Thomas at quarterback. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Thomas wants to air it out, looking for Jackson on the far side, and he's got him. Nope, dropped it. Who had him there?
Yeah, it hit him in the hands, and he had it for a couple of steps, but just lost the handle toward his 3rd step.
Well, we can see who the quarterback is next year.
Yeah, he showed his arm, didn't he?
That was a throw right there.
Absolutely.
Darnell Thomas, he's the junior behind the senior Robinson.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about Coach Barnes having to start over when Robinson's out of here, but you see what he's got to work with right there.
Ooh.
Thought he had it.
Got a heat timeout here as Jefferson can't hold that in. So third and very long coming up after the break for.
Dan actually made me hungry. I need a food button.
For the Murphy Panthers. We're halfway through the third game of the week, tied at 7 here on UTV 44. Theodore cheerleaders tonight. We cheering on their defense here as Murphy has third and very long coming up. Some great football going on here. Not just our game, tied at 7. St. Paul's leads Citronelle 26-14, and Fairhope leads Davidson 17-10 in two of the other big games going on here tonight. 3rd and 19.
Dabo's in a fight up there with Syracuse, 24-24 in the fourth quarter.
Pulling for Clemson, I'm sure.
Yeah, pulling for my old teammate.
That's good sport of you, Vic Lockett. Robinson looks, wants to go for Jefferson. Goes up and Jefferson's got it. Now there's a flag up at the 42. I like going right back to the receiver who just dropped the pass.
Yep, he's thinking about it. And he's like, I'm not going to drop this one. He secured it, but we'll have to see what the flag is.
Well, they've had a tough time just lining up and running the football. They've got good wideouts, so why not?
And a kid that can throw it. Looks like two of them that can throw it.
Yep. That guy can go up and get it. He starts the fight at 6'4".
Which is unfair advantage.
You're right.
Defensive holding against the Bobcats.
Holding against the Bobcats.
Just take the play.
So, yeah, does he take the play and gets to add on, or he just decline and the play's good?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Vic.
All right.
They can't be assessed after the play.
Call from our official, yeah, though.
He's not getting both, coach. He's getting one run. Number 6, got a hold.
Yeah, they'll decline the penalty.
The holding penalty is declined.
Can't tack on the extra at the end of the play.
A first down for the Murphy Panthers. First and 10 from the Theodore 24-yard line.
Muskegon ain't sweating it, though, you know.
No, I tell you, you just see good things ahead for the Murphy Panther program with him at the helm. 106 yards receiving tonight for Michael Jefferson.
Two big
catches.
Plays, yeah.
That helps the average. At the 24, now Manley. Oh.
Yeah, didn't quite look that pitch in. Saw where he wanted to run, but you really need the football to make it possible.
Tackled by number 8, Michael Williams.
Good job by Manley, just a fall on that football. Second time we've seen that ball come. Actually, the pitch was a little behind Manley.
On the second look, it is.
Of course, he had Mike Lewis, linebacker, there on him as well, and they lose 4.
Exactly. You had, that subtle pressure. Little nuances in the game, you know.
Jefferson and Lewis. Haven't really targeted Lewis 14 that often tonight, but he's another playmaker, and he's in the slot. And they'll go to him this time, and he's going to be blown up before he can hold on.
Nice play out there on the corner there.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go for the ball because he could have probably picked it off had he gone for the ball, but he wanted to be certain and go for the tackle. Make sure he doesn't miss that.
Yeah, it was timed perfectly, as you see. Lewis a little slow to get up. Hopefully it's just the wind being knocked out of him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's up to his feet, thank God. Good sportsmanship over there by Big 99 to tap him on the head.
So knowing what Murphy's got on the outside, Jim, as you watch this play by Brown, you were there when I asked Coach Collier, realizing Murphy's got these weapons on the outside. I said, how do you like your corners? He said, we got good corners.
Yeah.
So I said, okay.
Yeah, he was confident how his DBs would play tonight.
Yep, they're backing it up.
Third and...
Other than blowing that first flea flicker, now that's just kind of a mental error there. And then this other kid made this long pass here. They've been doing their job and been on it.
Yep. 3rd and 15 for the Panthers. Robinson looking for the right side, just wants to heave it up and throws that beyond the double coverage and Michael Jefferson really didn't have much going over there. It wasn't quite a PE pass, as Fred Riley would call it.
Well, Robinson was getting some heat there, and he just knew he had to get rid of it. And I applaud him for at least trying to put it in the game and play and let his receiver make a play.
I agree.
That time also, you may have noticed that Theodore got some safety help over that way, too, so it wasn't just Robinson one-on-one again.
Yes.
We're probably not going to see much more of that tonight.
Yeah.
On the passing
So Murphy's going to go for it here?
I think you're at your
they need to hurry, though.
25, play clock at 5, 4th and 15. Robinson rolls out, pressure coming, more pressure, and Robinson will just be ridden out of bounds. How about those corners and DBs downfield on the coverage there? Robinson had nowhere to throw the ball to.
Yeah, they were bracketed pretty good there, so it wasn't nothing for him to do. And, you know, he may have just went ahead and should have thrown it up because it could have been just like a punt.
Loss of almost 10 on the play, and just good tenacity by the D-line again. Jeremiah Hester over there to make the stop.
So after the big play, they went back a net about 15 yards.
Yep.
After that with the great field position after one play. So Murphy again really hasn't sustained anything on in any basis of churning out first downs.
Andrews gives it off to Tukes. And Tukes, maybe he'll get one.
Number 20, with the carry.
With 4 minutes to go in the third. And again, Murphy scored on their first play of the game on the offense. Since then, not much. And
just one play after that of significance.
Hunter Tillman, wide receiver to the top in single coverage. Fabian Williams to the bottom of the screen as Murphy's got 9 up on the box. And they stopped Tukes that time. Yeah, Murphy just put everybody up there and said, I dare you.
That was the definition of gang tackle right there.
They had the gang all up there. And no safeties deep. And wide receivers one-on-one and nothing but green grass.
Got to check out of it, huh, Dan?
Well, I don't know if you have to, but you'd have to have a lot of confidence to think you're going to get much out of that.
Well, I mean, check out of it to a pass play.
Right.
Gatson comes in the backfield.
Back up, guys, back up.
3rd and 6 for the Bobcats. Andrews steps up, has some time in the pocket. Now wants to pull it down, and he's going to be short of the first down as he gets to the 41. Like the pocket awareness there again by Andrews. Step up, felt the pressure coming in. But Murphy's defense.
Yep, they were aware.
Yeah, he negotiated all he could out of that pocket, and just wasn't nothing there for him downfield, I imagine.
Fabian Williams will come on to punt. Darnell Thomas back again to receive for the Panthers as we're nearing 2 minutes to go in the third.
You almost wonder if a special teams play is going to play a big role in this final score.
We've had low snaps and high snaps, and that one was low. And
Watch the ball!
Theodore will have it at, well, Murphy will have it at the 27-yard line as we wait for
Murphy, 26-yard line. They will start
Murphy's offense to come back out here. Let's go back down to Tara for another Coastal Alabama Community College Educator Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm with Theodore Principal Chip Minton. And Chip, there are a lot of things going on here at Theodore High School. Let's talk about some of the academies that are here.
We're very excited about what's going on. We have our signature academy, which is our engineering academy. Our dental academy and our nursing academy have become very big in the last couple of years. So we're excited because it's giving our kids the opportunity to get out there and get some internships and experience and be able to get a job when they finish.
Absolutely. So excelling in the classroom and then also on the field. Tell us what's going on athletically, because I understand you used to be a coach for the Bobcats as well.
I used to coach a while back, but we need to score some points first on the field. But other than that, our athletics have been great. And last year, our baseball team went to semifinals. Basketball team went to the Elite Eight. And so we feel good about where we're at, what we're doing.
Thank you so much, Chip.
Turnover. Robinson has it picked off.
Well, I thought he got stripped at the end, and it turned back over to Murphy. like they're going to give it to Theodore.
See, Colton Wiggins, the linebacker, drops back in coverage here. Good catch by the young man. He did lose the football. Oh, boy, and look, Murphy had a chance to get it back there.
Yeah, I thought they did get it back, but feisty little bunch, these Bobcats, they held on to it.
You know, all we need like a change of play. We need a big play to go. We just need to throw it to Tara for an educator spotlight.
And something will, an anomaly will occur.
Yeah, the game will change. Chip Minton says his Bobcats need some points, and they get a turnover just like that.
Yeah, just
good play calling by Coach Minton.
Right.
Tukes to the 25, and his helmet came off. And
yeah, he's running hard in the middle, and thank God it's just his helmet.
Gatson will come back in and replace Tukes in the backfield.
He's tough enough to play without his helmet.
You're wondering if they're just going to have to throw it in. You know, if they can't establish the run with the way Murphy's playing defense at the line of scrimmage and with the numbers that they're bringing in the box.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, it's asking a lot of a high school quarterback. You got to check out of some of that stuff that's going to call.
You got O'Neal at the top of the screen. They come to Tillman. Tillman hit immediately, tries to fight inside the 20 and gets to the 18, third, and a couple coming up for the Panthers.
Now, that was an opportunity where he didn't get much pressure, and he had a chance to get back there and step into his throw.
Yeah, and they did have the safeties back deep. As you see right there, they were playing a little more conservatively on defense. Tillman, nice job to get every inch out of that he can get.
Hold on the ball, too, as Adams was trying to rip it away, and now they quickly sprint out to the formation trying to catch Murphy. Play clock.
They're trying to draw him offside, see if they can get the cheap 5 on the third down.
3rd and 3. And they have to take a timeout.
Yeah,
play
didn't
clock
have
goes down
a play
to 2.
call either.
28 seconds to go in quarter number 3. It's a chance maybe to update you on some other games going on. And Gulf Shores and Daphne on the 4th quarter at 21-17. Gulf Shores still with the lead. So, had our trivia question that what historic accomplishment was achieved last week by both Baldwin County High School and Fairhope High School?
Now, I assume you had to have been watching the game to get what happened.
Or reading the quote-unquote paper the next day.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Right, so we got nothing up here. We got no
takers.
The only thing I can guess is that it was historic win in terms of they each had wins that were historic in terms of the number of wins they now have as a school.
Ding, ding, Dan Brennan. 500th victory for each school.
Wow.
How about that happening 2 schools in Baldwin County on the same night? So congratulations to both those schools with their 500th.
You really need to apply to Jeopardy. You really need to.
They're going to throw some aerospace at me, and I'll walk off the set.
But your guess is even better than mine. It's probable.
I like how you showed your work on that because you're noodling through and you're just in process of elimination. So
I show my teacher my worksheet.
3rd and long 2 for the Bobcats. Andrews fires into traffic and he's able to get it complete. And you can tell why they love Tillman. No, that's actually Fabian Williams. And Williams is going to have the long injury attorney's first down.
Jim, that's exactly why I made that point, was that even there you see a change in strategy a little bit. Only 2 yards to go, and yet they're like, we probably have a better chance throwing this thing than
running up the middle, huh?
Yeah, and we remarked how Andrews is a pretty accurate quarterback, and he's got some decent receivers.
Well, you absolutely call that one.
Coleman was...
Let's see if they use this as a philosophy throughout the rest of the game.
Coleman had good coverage. 8 seconds to go. Will they snap it? Indeed. Andrews pitches it back to Tukes. Tukes, and there's a flag. It's going to be a hold. The 3rd quarter will come to a close.
Here, Theodore, when the quarter's over, it sounds like your car got broke into.
Like an old 80s, like late 80s car alarm going off.
Yeah. Boy, if that's a hold, man, that is a really...
Yep, that's indeed what it is.
That's a tough, bad call for a team that's having trouble moving it.
Yep, that'll back them up. We'll come back 4th quarter, ready to start. 7-7 here tonight at Theodore. So the holding call on the last play of the third quarter. We'll play one untimed down here. Backs the Bobcats all the way back to the 24-yard line. Yeah, that's a tough holding call. Coming around the right side. And now you're back.
Playing one and then going to...
Yeah, then we'll go down the other.
Wow.
Go down the other end of the field. Not sure
what's that all about.
Purpose of it.
Tukes.
Another commercial break?
Yeah. Play action to Tukes. Looking over the middle. He wants Williams, and he can't hold on to it.
Thought he had it, and I don't know if it bounced off his hand or the defender got a hand in there. I was shielded from it.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty well-thrown ball there. So now we'll go down to the other end of the field. So we'll stay tied.
So we'll get to hear from some more of our folks supporting high school football.
I'm just trying to figure out why. I mean, why?
Purpose, yes.
Why would you play the untimed down and not just start the fourth quarter with after the penalties assessed?
The penalty, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not.
Yeah, I don't get the purpose in it either.
I mean, I think you could see an untimed down if the penalty is against the defense in some situations.
Yeah.
End of the half, end of the game, something like that. But at the end of the third quarter, I'm not sure.
Well, it must be in the rule book, but I've never seen a quarter delayed like that for a holding penalty. And
right.
I don't know what the sense was. But maybe they've got an explanation. And after last week, I think these guys are doing just fine.
You know, Jim Bibby, former longtime referee, has retired from officiating, and he's hanging out at his swanky place at the beach.
Yeah.
He should be like our.
Yeah, he should be our guy.
That we can go to when we have officiating questions. We should FaceTime Bibby in, and he can tell us exactly what we don't know, if he knows.
And,
now, that's
and unlike Fox and CBS, it's not. He would never see a dime. It would just be out of the kindness of his heart.
He would, he was texting me earlier. He was watching the game. He loves to watch the broadcast, but yeah, that one didn't make a lot of sense. And next week we can have a dandy of a game up in Saraland.
Well, we've got a dandy right here with some defense played. I'll tell you that.
I would agree. And Saraland and Spanish Ford is where we think we'll be next week. Spanish Fort, big win tonight over Foley, but Saraland 14-7 tussle with Baldwin County right now in the second half.
Nice cut up.
Fabian Williams to the 18 and third. And about 12 coming up here for the Bobcats. And again, not sure about the kicking options for the Bobcats. They didn't try a 41-yarder earlier. That'll be third, and it's actually be another third and 13 here.
Judging from the extra point, that was, not a thing of beauty.
Looking up top, they want to go to O'Neal. Jordan O'Neal in the end zone. Did he push off?
Yep, they can call it on him. I mean, before the ball even got in the air, he was getting him some separation with his right arm. He's been watching TV and knows he needs a little space. So we'll see if they call it on the offense.
Yeah, he ended up in the triple jump or the long jump pit, whatever you...
No, I noticed that. I've never seen that before.
Whatever you like, but...
He ended up with some sand in his cleats.
Yeah, kid's going to make a sand castle after he scores, huh?
Pass interference.
Oh, they're going to call it on the D.
Okay.
And I didn't see any defensive stuff, did you?
Well, and Vic's usually not. Let's listen.
During the play, pass interference on the receiving team. We had a touchdown on the play. The touchdown counts, and it'll be taken. It'll be taken on the kickoff.
He said receiving team, he meant on the defense.
Right.
Yeah, because they were the recipient of some punishment if any kind of receiving they were doing.
Yeah,
receiving.
If we get a replay of that, we'll see if after Lynn tries the PAT here is Theodore trying to make it a 14-7 lead. And
here we go.
Lynn solid on that one, and Theodore with their first lead of the night.
Mark that down. They do have a kicker.
Toss from Andrews to Jordan O'Neal, his first touchdown reception of the year. And Theodore with the lead, Not quite a day at the beach, but sandy nonetheless.
Watch this.
First lead of the night for the Theodore Bobcats here on our UTV 44 Game of the Week. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas on the truck, David Sharp, after a 2-week suspension, his returns to keeping stats here tonight in the booth for us.
Either that or you up this contract and negotiations.
7 plays, 73 yards, just under 3 minutes. O'Neal with a touchdown reception. O'Neal, a big weapon, 6'3", 175. Yep. Only 2 catches coming into the year.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the field, and that was surprising, but that was a big one right there.
Now here, do you even think about maybe a little trickery here as you get to kick off from?
No, you make sure that Murphy's got to start at the 20. Your defense is playing so well.
Okay.
Nothing cute here. If you've got a kicker that can get it there, and he should from the other 45. It just pooches it.
Pooches it down back inside the 10. And out of bounds. It's better than kicking it into the end zone.
Just the same, huh? Or better.
Tavarius Jackson knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Well, I guess their thinking is, you know, if you pooch it, you got less distance to cover, and he's got folks fast enough down there to get him before he hits the 20. So
yeah,
that's one way to think about it.
It worked.
Tamaje Porter doing a little dance out on the field right now.
Yeah, this stadium's rocking. Yeah, I mean, when big man like that moves, we may get a quake or two.
Well, yeah, the camera's maybe shaking a little bit. He's a really good guy, and again, a great student. And
that's what I'm proud to hear.
Oh, yeah.
There he is right in the middle of the
SEC recruit, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt.
As is this young man, Maurice Robinson.
Yep.
Robinson, quick fires over the middle, able to get that one complete. Anton Noble.
Nice job by Anton to look that thing in and get all he can get.
Up to the 35. That's a long injury attorney's first down. And
gets his team out the hole.
Yeah, great pass there by Maurice Robinson just quickly. And we saw Noble drop one earlier.
Noble, a good-looking big athlete, right?
6'3", 210.
That's a big offensive line, too, they've got.
Big line, big receivers.
Yeah. Big-time quarterback.
Jefferson to the bottom of the screen, matched up with Cameron Brown. They pitched out to the far side, and Anthony Miller all the way up.
So is Murphy sensing a bit of urgency?
Change the tempo a little bit. He's up to the...
Do they just play better behind?
They're playing better these 2 plays.
Right. Yes, okay.
Long injury attorney's first down to the 45-yard line.
Hold the verdict, huh, Dano?
Let's just keep watching, right?
You've seen enough of this stuff to hold me down, right? When I get too excited, you're like, hold it now, lock it.
Quickly they come off, and Lewis has it go off his hands. A.J. Lewis.
A.J.'s not small either, big 6'4", 215 senior.
Off his hand and dangerously around that secondary. Tyrone Hall was right there for the Bobcats. That 2nd and 10. And we talked about what Murphy has coming up here tonight at Theodore. Next week, Fairhope, then Davidson. Tough remaining region schedule. Robinson on the keeper, slips a tackle on the left side, and that'll be about it as he picks up a couple. He was able to get away from the sophomore Jaden McCants.
I think that play was doomed from the beginning with all the penetration, and Robinson just turned into an athlete and said, well, I better not even try to make an exchange. Let me just keep it and try to get us out of this hole.
And he wasn't in a deep shotgun formation either.
Yeah, that pistol, and they just blew it up, Theodore did.
Good job there by Colton Higgins, who's at the interception tonight. Senior linebacker for the Bobcats. Again, Theodore's team only giving up 11 points a game so far through 6 games.
And they're on schedule here, holding the Panthers to 7.
Yep, 3rd and 8. Robinson steps up, forces it over to the far side. He's got Lewis, and Lewis lunges ahead, and he's going to have another Panther first down.
I like the way Robinson looked at his first read, kept his eyes there as if he was just trying to move the safeties, went to his second guy and let him have it.
Long injury attorney's first down, and best sustained drive we've seen tonight from the Murphy Panthers here. it up to the 44-yard line. Yeah, look at Lewis. Vic talked about him just 2 plays ago, 6'4", 215, and used his strength there to.
Yep.
He needed to pick up 3 more for the catch. Yep.
He did. Had he not, they were going to hold him for a loss.
Blitz coming and rolling out. Robinson just to make something happen and takes a big bump to the 38-yard line.
Wow, when he turned that thing up, I thought it was something about to happen there.
Yeah.
But
And I'm not
Theodore's got that talent as well on defense to match.
Mike Williams, the linebacker, he came blitzing and lost containment on Williams, so it looked like he had a chance at something big. But this Theodore defense runs really well with people who have their heads on a swivel.
That's right.
I think Colton Higgins might have, the linebacker we were just talking about for the Bobcats, might have got hit by his own player there. And the big lick that we heard up here, 2 Bobcats getting together.
Little friendly fire, huh?
Pickup of 6 on first down for Robinson. Looking to the near side, fires it off, and Jefferson is going to have another long injury attorney's first down for the Bobcats. Cameron Brown and Jefferson matching up over this. 2 good high school football players matching up.
No doubt, but you got one with a height advantage and has played a role in this a little bit.
Nice job by Robinson. Just stand up, square your shoulders up, release it right over your shoulder. Good looking pass, good looking catch.
Darnell Thomas now comes up to the top of the screen. Robinson pitches it off to Anthony Miller, and Miller's got a hole on the left side. And suddenly some life from this Panther offense. Another long injury attorney's first down to the 19-yard line.
And to me, what they're doing, what they're doing a little bit better, certainly, is blocking.
Yeah, they're reaching that in over there and sealing it off, and he's just having space to run. And I like the way he's just attacking it there, Anthony Miller. He gets it and just goes forward north and south.
8th play of this drive for the Panthers.
Best looking drive all night by these Panthers, right?
For sure. Inside give and crashing down Jeremiah Hester in there to make the stop. Mike Williams, the linebacker, came up to help as well as they shut down Miller. No gain on the play.
Loss of a yard on the play makes it 7 yards to go.
Second to lose 1, second and 11 as we approach the 7-minute mark here in Theodore tonight.
The same thing here. Can they run the ball in from the 20-yard line? And maybe not. Maybe they're going to have to get there through the air again, just like Theodore.
Robinson looking that way. Now he wants to throw it up for Jefferson to the back of the end zone. Did he get his feet in? No. And
wow, I didn't even know he was out the back of the end zone. I thought it was a great play.
Cameron Brown ended up with it as well, but he was out of the back of the end zone.
Nice job by Robinson again, going to his second or third option. I don't know if he's just moving to safety or not, but that is certainly not where his head was looking at the beginning of the play.
Yeah, he wanted had 3 receivers to the top. He was looking that way, coverage, and then it's, never a bad option to heave a little 50-50 ball with your big wide receiver.
Absolutely. Let him make a play above the rim.
6'4" against 5'8". But now you got 3rd and 11. Robinson had a little trouble with the snap. Pressure coming. He's hit as he delivers it. He's able to get it to Jefferson, who's going to be close.
I think he's good for the first down.
He's going to be just short, Vic Lockett.
We shall see. Yeah, they are signaling 4th down.
Wow, I'll tell you what. Robinson gets blasted on the play.
Right.
Still makes the throw. Jefferson, he gets his eggs scrambled. He hangs on to the ball. So Murphy showing a little toughness here, Jim.
Absolutely.
4th and less than a yard. We got Miller lined up in the backfield.
Well, yeah, I think
keep it in Robinson's
Porter
hands.
takes away the quarterback sneak, huh?
They give it to Miller on the left side, and Miller spins forward, and he's going to have the first down. He pays the price, but it'll be a long injury attorney's first down, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Panthers here at the 6.
Well, this is quite a drive by Murphy because they're going against a really stingy and physical and fast Theodore defense.
Athletic as well. Yes, we can throw every adjective you want out there to describe them. They are it, the positive ones.
But Murphy with a chance to tie this thing up again.
And flag So we wanted to go to Lewis. This is
usually the area where there's been a foul by the offense.
That's what Muskegon Barnes said. We've got to get rid of these penalties. But this one may be against Theodore. I think they might have encroachment against.
It jumped off sides.
The Bobcats.
Is that what you guys saw? I did not see any movement. Either side, to be honest.
No, I didn't see it, but just
okay. Long discussion to call this thing now.
Now, if somebody jumps off sides, it's.
Yeah, it is offsides against the Bobcats.
It'll be a half the distance. The goal penalty. I just haven't seen a lot of, just power running out of this. Half the distance, put it just inside the 4. And they've got Anthony Miller, 5'9", 160 running back in there next to Robinson. Murphy bringing the, Theodore's bringing the house, and Miller takes a big hit and gets to the 1. That's Tyrone Hall, the safety.
T. Hall, I see you, brother, showing out number 5.
We all see him.
He is bringing the wood.
Going to take a heat timeout here. And I think that comes at a very good time for this Theodore defense. As 2nd and goal coming up for Murphy. They're looking to tie this game. 5:48 to go. Watch the big hit here by Hall. Right near the goal line. And Miller holds on. And it's 2nd and goal for the 1 coming up after this timeout. .48 to go. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Locataire, Reeves on the sideline. Jared Kihas in the truck. Our statistician, David Sharp, says this is the 10th play, sort of the 11th play on this drive here for the Panthers. Give Miller, try to go right up the middle, and Tamaje Porter pulling him back, and they're still driving, and finally they blow the whistle.
Yeah, I would not mess with the big 99 in the middle. That is his territory, and he is king.
6'2", 310, Tamaje Porter, number 99. You see him there.
Only thing worse than that, being 6'2", 310, is being 6'2", 310 and smart. And he's that.
He's that.
Look at him. Don't even need a jersey to fit. I'll just wear a T-shirt.
Murphy's going to try to fit it in there in this end zone some way. Jim, think he'll maybe now go wide.
Go 2 tight ends. 3rd and goal from the 1. Robinson gives it off. Miller slips a tackle, and he's in for the score.
What a play by Miller, because they went unbalanced, but Theodore matched him man for man, and it was an unblocked man, and he had to make him miss to get that score. Good job by that young man, Anthony Miller.
Good penetration. It looked like Theodore was going to snuff it out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Hall was coming.
That was Hall, huh?
They did the most important thing. They got lined up to defense the unbalanced line. Just the execution was the athleticism of Miller to make his man miss and get into that end zone.
Yeah, being 160 pounds paid off right there.
After giving all that talk to the 310 guy.
Carter Cochran, the left-footed kicker, to tie it.
Wow, Samarji almost got in there to block it. Tamarji Porter.
Through.
Wow.
6 minutes, 24 seconds off the clock, but more importantly, 7 on the board. And Murphy has tied this one with 4:45 to go. It's been close all night. It was 7-0 Murphy, and it was 14-7 Theodore. Now it's 7. It's a 7 spot here on the board by Murphy. Makes it 14-14 with 4:45 to go. And that offense, that drive, something we had not seen. 11 plays, 87 yards.
Nice job by those Panthers. Best drive I've seen them run in my time covering it.
In all the years.
Boy, and I'll tell you, it was timely, too.
Yep. Pooch kick to the middle of the field. Taken the 26-yard line. And
great effort.
Yep, out to the 44. And
it's something you can say all day long, Vic, with this game tonight.
Yeah, good effort by both players, both teams,
yes.
all the players.
Here's Keyshawn Gaston. And again, Theodore with good field position up at the 44.
And if we know Coach Collier, he's turning it back into 3 yards in a cloud of dust, huh?
Well, let's see what he does. Remember when they got that touchdown, they threw it in there.
They started passing a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Tukes got to take what you give them.
In the backfield, and Andrews out to the near side. Tillman makes a move, and Tillman takes a big hit there by Coleman.
Nice play by Tillman out there to catch that football and then
take a big pop.
Yep, and use the momentum of the athlete of Murphy to swerve around it.
Yeah, also throw very accurate and on time by Andrews.
5 catches for Hunter Tillman, a long and long injury attorney's first down for the Bobcats.
How about starting out the drive at the 45-yard line after the pooch kick?
And a 10-yard pickup. Andrews gives it off to Tukes and lost his footing as he went to cut back, but part of that might have been Adams and Weaver right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Big 95 getting him by the collar, too.
2-yard loss, 2nd and 12. So we're inside 4 minutes to go. Clemson goes down, being upset by Syracuse tonight.
And Syracuse, I think, lost to LSU, correct?
Was that earlier this year? I guess so.
Andrews goes to O'Neal, and Coleman right there. He was Velcroed on O'Neal. Not much of a gain. Going to bring up 3rd and long.
This kid is accurate. I mean, I know he's not throwing 40-yard darts down the middle of the field, but he's operating within the offense really effectively.
3rd and 8. Here, Coleman right up against Jordan O'Neal. Has a touchdown reception tonight. It's probably easier to grab with all that sand on, a little grittier, not quite as slippery.
Fell in the sand pit after a touchdown. Was it worth it? Of course it was.
Pressure coming. Andrews steps up, flips it off, but it's incomplete. Goes off the hands of his intended receiver.
Nice work by Andrews just to negotiate that pocket, avoid the rush, keep his eyes downfield, and try to put a touch pass in there. Just didn't execute it on the other end.
I would also say he's a good enough athlete. He might have been able to run for that.
You see quarterbacks on Saturdays and Sundays that can make just that slide step in the pocket just to buy some more time and be able to see.
And when it happens to your team, it hurts like hell. Like, you had him tackled.
Yeah, now remember, Theodore's had some trouble with the punt snaps here. Had
don't jinx them right here, Jim.
3 high in the first half, and then we saw a low one after.
I think they got it corrected, but we shall see right here.
We'll get down to 5 on the play clock. Fabian Williams. Oh boy, that's a timeout.
Yeah,
you hate to burn. You almost wondered you better just take the delay of game and keep your timeout.
You know, I think about that. Coaches sometimes panic so much with these little penalties on the 4th down. You already punted, so just back up and punt it.
Yeah. So they take the timeout to give us a chance to tell you about our Scholastic Athletes of the Week. Anton Noble. Talked about him on the field tonight. 4.41 GPA. Plays football and baseball. 4-year member of both teams, and enrolled at the University of Alabama. Vic Lockett?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take him. Roll Tide.
I mean, he's enrolled to our sponsor.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You actually get a scholarship to the early college.
He's pretty smart. He's cool and smart.
So congratulations to Anton Noble. And he's had a good game out on the field here tonight as well. And our Theodore Scholastic Athlete of the Week. We talked about Hunter Tillman.
Yeah, look at that GPA.
4.47, football, baseball, basketball. You think he's feisty on the basketball court?
Starts in all 3. I think he's the point guard on the hoop team.
Top 10 in a class of 400. Plans to pursue a degree in engineering.
Pursue, I think he will get it. All right, Theodore's up for this punt.
All right. Darnell Thomas back to receive. High snap.
Jim jinxed him.
Thomas with a good, Williams with a good kick, and Thomas falls on it at the 18. And now suddenly you got 2:44 to go. And you wouldn't say
tight game alert.
Murphy goes down and could steal a win here tonight, but for so long it just didn't feel like their offense was going to be able to get it going. And now you look at that last drive.
Two things I would say, and Vic, help us do this too. Just let's keep an eye on this Theodore defensive alignment, okay? And if they drop back their safety so far that Murphy's got shots at 10, 15-yard slants, and they may give them the opportunity to get down the field, because this kid can throw it and he's got guys that can catch it.
He does.
And think about that timeout Theodore just had to burn as well. They only have one left. Robinson over the middle, and it's dropped as Noble couldn't hold on to it and paid the price with a
little bit
body
behind
blow.
him.
Yeah,
that was the same play that started that other big drive.
Yep, you're right.
A little bit behind him, but they know they'll correct that and come back to it.
Stops the clock with the incompletion. 2:37 left. Murphy 2-4 on the year. Been in a bunch of tight games. It's 27-26 last week, 25-21 2 weeks ago.
It's what they do.
Robinson rolls out, throws against his body, and incomplete. Now suddenly you're 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that was a difficult play to make there.
3rd and 10, 2 incompletes. The clock stopped, and suddenly your Theodore are thinking, well, we get a stop back here. Now we're going to get good field position.
Yep. You certainly are.
And you noted they've got a pretty good field goal kicker.
Do you
talking about Theodore? Yeah.
Well, do you think about keeping it on the ground here on something with Robinson to either make Theodore burn the timeout or at least take some time off the clock here if you don't get the first? Robinson over the middle, fires. And I don't think Anton Noble was expecting the pass.
No, he wasn't, or he definitely would have gave more effort towards it.
Because he was behind the DB.
Well, it wasn't the pass. The DB kind of shaded off because the throw was actually for the receiver. There was one layer up.
In the slot.
Yeah.
So a 3-and-out on 3 straight incomplete passes. And it's 2:23 left, and now the Theodore Bobcats.
You know, you're talking about the field goal. Maybe special teams may be very special. This play right here.
Darnell Thomas.
He can catch this ball right here.
Hunter Tillman standing right at midfield, number 4 right there in your screen.
He's got an opportunity.
Kind of a line drive kick, and Thomas takes it at the midfield stripe, spins right into a big hit, and that's going to be a helmet-to-helmet hit, I believe, which
I thought it was his chest.
But, you know, you've heard the Theodore coaches all night saying that's helmet-to-helmet, helmet-to-helmet, and then this might be the one they get.
Yeah, they have been crying it all night.
It'd be a big one.
Oh.
It'd be a big one. I mean, man.
Now they're going to say maybe against – I didn't see a block in the back, but looks like this is going to go against – block in the back against Theodore. It really wasn't that much time to get a block in the back going.
You know, now
it only takes a second for that infraction to happen.
You just want to make sure that these things happen, because these calls can be so critical at this time of the game. And I'm not doubting that it didn't happen, but this is pretty harmful to what Theodore's trying to do.
Listen in.
After the change of possession, we had a push in the back on the receiving team. That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, he does a great job of.
Absolutely. Still good field positioning.
Clear and concise, right?
Yeah. Let's see if we can see it here.
Gee,
that may have been it.
I guess that was it, but it was more like a.
They got tangled. The two guys got tangled up together.
I agree.
Still good field position at the 47. And then end around Fabian Williams. Big hit right there from Trayvon Ross, and steps out of bounds right at midfield. And big collision. Steps out of bounds. Each player looks at one another and goes back to their respective huddles.
Good sportsmanship.
Yep.
Hey, good play.
Yeah, boy, Trayvon Ross, He's a player. He's got 3 interceptions. He's been all around the football tonight. So he'd be a guy to make a play here late in the game. Murphy could change something defensively.
Some athletes on the field, boys.
Andrews, right side, flushed out of the pocket. Heaves it up and incomplete third.
He was looking for
7.
He was looking for Tillman, and in the intermediate route, didn't like what he had, and then he just had to kind of eat it. Got some pressure. Tillman and he probably played enough together where he could have freelanced his route and come back to him, but at that point, with him getting pressure in his face, this kid's made a lot of good decisions tonight, don't you think?
I was just going to mention, we talk about the poise we see from some of these young men playing quarterback, and what these kids are asked to do at quarterback now compared to 10 or 20 years ago, so much more.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's been on point. He hasn't put his team in peril with the football.
All right. Play clock now at 5. Theodore going to have to hurry here on 3rd and 7. They snap it at 1, and Andrews rolls and just fires that one incomplete. And so a 3-and-out match by a 3-and-out. Billy Flanagan tried to get the sophomore fullback.
So they exchanged 3-and-outs, huh? Quick ones.
Yeah, we're still just 1:54 to go.
I agree with this call. Looks like I'm seeing. Oh no, it's no.
Yep. We got another long snap coming here, Vic Lockett.
Well, I thought they were putting number 2 back there to catch the punt, but it's 6.
It's still, they got 9 on the line of scrimmage. Good snap, and they're coming. Oh, they're almost going to get a piece of a steady line. Drives it, and Darnell Thomas up the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Murphy was close.
It's one of those plays where you wonder how they didn't get out.
Yeah.
Good
job. I'll tell you how he just didn't go at the point where the ball makes contact to the foot.
Fabian Williams.
And believe it or not, you have to practice that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, you'll run into the kicker or you'll do just that, run by the kicker.
Whip it, right.
And so your senior quarterback that is your playmaker has a chance here.
Well, it's funny. It's almost the exact situation they had a moment ago.
Right.
2 minutes and change, and a little bit less than 2 minutes now. They've got all 3 timeouts. They've got an offense with enough playmakers to make it happen. You've got a Theodore defense that is playing 1 deep safety right now.
At the 27, Robinson's going to be dropped back at the 20.
Absolutely the last thing Coach Barnes would want to happen.
Yeah, that was the sophomore Jaden McCants. Came in from the right side, and Murphy has their timeouts. They let the clock continue to run here, and all the way back to the 21.
Yeah, nice play there by 93 as his dad turns around and shows me the shirt and says, "That's my boy."
You can kind of see why Coach Collier likes some of the sophomores he's got on this team.
Yeah, but boy/man.
Yeah.
1:12 remaining. Robinson wants to go up the far side, incomplete, and now a flag. Maybe a lineman downfield. It's dropped right at the line of scrimmage on the far side. I didn't see any linemen get downfield.
Yeah, no, they usually in pass block there unless it's some kind of screen. So they're taking steps back.
Boy, again, Murphy right in the middle of a dogfight.
Yeah, so it is illegal man downfield.
Wow. Well, another way that can occur is you cover up that tight end and he goes out into the route.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been it.
We'll listen in here.
During the play, we had an ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. That penalty has been declined. 3rd down.
3rd and 10 said, yeah, it was incomplete. We'll take our chance. They're in 3rd and forever right now. We don't want to give another down. We want to get a chance to get the ball back.
Again.
Right. 14-14 with 1:01 to go. Theodore
all knotted up here.
Yeah.
That's why it's the game of the week.
We can pick them.
Good job by Jared, huh?
We can pick them. I think it was a collaborative vote.
Yeah, he consults with us.
Yeah, his post count is 5.
Pressure coming, heaves it incomplete. And again stops the clock. And so Theodore is able to get a 3 and out here and not use their last timeout with 55 seconds to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell you what, that sack by Jaden McCants put them behind this charge there, and that held the drive up. And his dad gives me a thumbs up right here. He's enjoying the game as we're amongst the crowd tonight.
Does he know Dan and I are here too, Vic? just
well, you got to look at him.
Okay. I was just checking.
Good-looking player for a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hunter Tillman. Back pressure.
Again, bad angle towards the punt. Otherwise, it was blocked.
Oh, it takes a bounce right up to midfield. And so 45 seconds left. Theodore gets it again. You know, think about how much Theodore's had it between the 40s tonight. I mean, it's just
all night.
All night long.
Yeah.
Now see if they got it out to O'Neal for the touchdown. And big wide receiver who went out. You can see they really, if they had a real sure enough big wide receiver weapon on this team, this Theodore offense, you can see where it would be really dangerous.
Yeah, we're saying that about a team that's only got 14 points tonight, but there are pieces in place for both teams.
Hunter Tillman in the slot. Fabian Williams there as well. Now looking to pass. They want to go to Tillman. Tillman going for it, incomplete. Tillman was battling back there with Jalen Adams. I mean, you like putting it in your little baller's hand. I mean, the guy who's been all around the ball tonight and guy who will make a play.
Tillman even slowed down there near the end, I think, to try and create contact. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember.
I think he's waiting on the ball, not necessarily that.
Thought he might have given a little push.
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw. Watch here, Vic. The contact is created by Tillman. You may not see it here, where I think he kind of created a little more room for himself. But
Dane Yakai with a great shot down the field for us, and stepping out of bounds is Tillman 2 yards short of the first down with 30 while clock's still running. 32 seconds left.
A little ways to go to get into any kind of field goal range.
Yes, we are.
Well, at the 44-yard line, 3rd and 4.
You're gonna have to block for this quarterback. Pressure.
Andrews, far side,
good coverage out there.
Yep.
Now what do you do? Go for it?
I think you go to overtime, punt it, and go to overtime with 27 seconds left.
I say you throw it up deep and just see if you can get a play in this punt if it does. Just like a punt.
It's not a punt if they knock it down, and then Murphy would get the ball close to midfield.
Ah, I see the point you're making there. And they got 3 timeouts to work with.
Right.
Well, he's thinking something similar to me.
4th and 4. Andrews wants to heave it down the right sideline. Caught it at the 10. Goes to Fabian Williams for the reception.
Well, it's the first time my strategy is outthought Dan's strategy, but so I'm going to get me a ribbon.
There's a flag over on the Murphy side. I wonder if he stepped out of bounds. There's a flag over on the Murphy sideline.
Well, I don't see any hats off by any refs to indicate he did go out.
But, boy, how about where Williams just gets some separation while that ball's in the air?
Well, the body language of the Theodore player saying it's against him.
Andrews does not look pleased when he got the news. Wow.
Man, I'm trying to look over there to see.
Illegal man downfield?
No, illegal touching, I believe.
I mean, he went out of bounds.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't see him well enough.
All right, so.
So Murphy's got the ball, 45-yard line, 3 timeouts. Still have a hard time using all 3.
Theodore's still got their offense on the field. Got to get their defense out there.
Coach Collier signals them out there.
Wow. I love the separation you saw Williams get while that ball was in the air, and he just went and tracked that ball down.
But he did part of it out of bounds.
Covering even more ground than most receivers do.
But Mo Barnes just keeps his head about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's right there in the conference and saying, hey, what's this, what's that, what are my options? Tell you what, coaching is a lot more than just calling plays and getting players lined up, man. Right. You got to manage the game and know the rules and communicate to these refs, communicate to the players, deal with the parents. It's a big job.
Broadcasters, deal with them during the week.
Broadcasters are easy. You just ignore their emails.
A few that did that aren't coaching with us around here any longer.
Not that you played a role.
No.
In it.
Here's an explanation.
We did have a completed catch during the down. However, during the play, the receiver stepped out of bounds and came back in. That is an illegal participation foul on the offense. It is a loose ball foul. That means it's going from the previous spot, 15 yards, 4th down.
So
I thought that was 4th down.
Yeah, that was, but I didn't know that they can keep the down. I would have thought at the very least they can decline the penalty and get the football.
Loose ball foul. So
now if Murphy got the ball right here,
right,
got a different ball game, right?
Yeah, now you got Williams to punt yet again.
Sometimes the explanation can leave you more confused.
Like there.
Yeah.
Darnell Thomas watches that one go out of bounds all the way back at the 20.
Makes me concisely mixed up.
The 20-yard line, Murphy will start there, 1st and 10, with 12 seconds remaining.
So it really, a penalty like almost rewards the offense in a way in that situation because it was 4th down. And so
they got another down.
They got another punt, and they burned more time off the clock as opposed to the defense saying, we stopped you on 4th down.
I would imagine you should have had the ability to decline it, at least to say, hey, turn the ball over on down.
I don't understand if he said it was a completed pass, but he stepped out of bounds. So
he should have left that part out.
Yeah, so it wasn't.
It's not a completed pass when
exactly.
you go out of bounds and come back in.
Right.
You're ineligible. That doesn't count. That didn't happen.
We got to get Bibby in here. I mean,
we need to go to our expert, Jim Bibby.
You know.
13 seconds left in regulation. Robinson just pitches it over the middle and bobbling it. Christian able to hold on to it. Christian Sellers, and
time will expire.
They took a timeout, but Theodore just lets the clock run out. I thought Murphy had called a timeout. There was definitely some change left on the clock there at the end of the play.
Yeah, I did hear the whistle.
By the offense. Put 3 seconds back on the clock. 3 seconds.
Boy.
3 more than Coach Saban would like to have.
Not a big fan of much left on the clock.
Boy, just think if we didn't play that untimed down, where we'd be right now. Going back at the end of the 3rd quarter. Still scratching our head at that one. So we've got 3 seconds left. 14-14. Now see, Gene Everett, who used to be an official, he said if they decline the penalty, then they get the result of the play, which is a completed pass. But it wasn't a completed pass because he stepped out of bounds and was the first one to touch it coming back in.
Yeah, it's like he never touched it.
You can't play both sides of the fence there.
Correct, yeah. It's almost like saying if you catch it out of bounds and we decline that,
it's a loose ball. Loose ball fouls like we're watching like NBA basketball back in the 90s, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that phrase in football, have I? Loose ball foul?
Well, he was done
because the ball's never weird.
Our referee tonight has been very
maybe he calls basketball as well.
Very
he's explained everything.
Thoughtful explaining things, yeah. There's not been a ton of penalties here in this game.
It's been enough. More than these coaches would like to have seen, I can assure you
exactly. 18% of the flags we saw last week were thrown here tonight. Robinson buys some time. Now he's just going to pull it down. And And that will be the end of regulation. So we'll take a timeout and come back, and we will have overtime, our second overtime matchup tonight. Somebody's going to get the ball to start at the 10-yard line. And we're back after this on our UTV 44 Game of the Week. All right, free football tonight here on UTV 44.
I don't think anybody was paying for it in the first place that's watching at home, Jim.
Tied of 14-8. Last time in overtime, BC Reign. That was back on September 28, 2012. That was Theodore. They lost to BC Reign. Murphy lost their last overtime game as well. September 11, 2015, they lost to Viger. Now the series, it goes all the way back to 1962. Of course, Murphy's won 7 of these in a row. And this series has gone to overtime 3 different times. 1979, a win for Murphy. 2005, triple overtime win for Murphy, 24-21. And in 2009, it was Theodore with an overtime win. So this is the 4th time these two teams will go to overtime since 1962.
But definitely let them catch a breather.
I think they take a 2-minute timeout here between. Get some interesting scores. Daphne ends up winning 31-28 over Gulf Shores, but big win for Baldwin County tonight. They beat Saraland 15-14. Big one across the bay. 31-17. Fairhope beats the Davidson Warriors. So there's the overtime rules. Basically, each team gets it at the 10. You flip a coin.
Jim, I thought you was going to read that to me as a bedtime story.
Yeah.
We need you awake, Vic.
So if you win,
give me some of those catfish you were talking about earlier down at the festival. I'll wake up.
You had the catfish hookup. I didn't. You were the one that knew the special booth to go to get those at a shrimp festival. So anyway, so basically you win the toss. You say, hey, I want to go on defense first. I want to see what the offense does, and if we can make a stop, then we know a field goal could win it. And we'll just keep playing. There's no rule like in college where you have to at some point start going for 2 or anything like that. So looks like Murphy, I'm guessing Murphy won the toss. And it looks like
now the conditioning will come into play. You know, Coach Barnes talked a lot about that today and in the pregame show.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now we shall see if they can pull that hay out of the barn. I'm sure Coach Collier is thinking the same thing as well, whether their summertime program is going to pay off at this point, because trust me, guys, I don't care how long you've been playing through the season, and you got this humidity and the temperature late in October like this.
The TV lights, they add a little extra heat to the game as well.
Yeah, give us some fight. You're gonna see some fatigue and some cramping come into play.
And you think about this, I mean, this really could be your season on the line.
Absolutely.
Whoever loses this chance, you know. Really,
yeah, and it says a lot because it's a couple of good teams.
Yep. Theodore will have it first. And they'll start with Tukes in the backfield with Trevor Andrews. At the 10. And here we go, untimed overtime. Each team will get at least 1 possession, maybe more. Andrews looks over. See Ashton Johnston, the center, turn around, looking back. They look for a pass. Quickly, they get it down inside the 5. Still on his feet, Fabian Williams.
To the half-yard line, looks like.
Down to 1.
It's like this.
Fabian Williams has
that was your spot.
played well tonight. Punt, receptions. Yeah, now 1st and goal. Now we talked about Tukes as kind of that big short yardage back.
Yep.
Bring the hammer in and let Tukey do it.
Yep, they bring Billy Flanagan in at fullback. Andrews. Turns around, has a little word with. Can't to hurry. Play clock at 2. They get it off, and they go on the pitch to Toots, who cuts it back in for the Theodore touchdown.
Untouched, just basically. First time all night that pitches worked that well. He had all green grass in front of him and didn't have to take nothing but 2 steps. Touchdown, puts his team up.
Yeah, I didn't think that, even though we talked about this earlier, every time we saw that formation, it was a toss pitch. But 1 yard out, I thought they were going to
just turn around and do the old Georgia's pad. Georgia.
Well, just kind of
A-gap.
Yeah, A-gap. And I was even thinking that with the quarterback under center.
Low snap, but Marcos Lynn able to get it in and make it a 7-point Theodore lead here in overtime. And so now Murphy will get the football, and
they know what they've got to do.
Theodore makes it look easy, but there's some execution in that thing to go.
All right, hey, let's go down to Tara. She's on the sidelines. Tara.
Guys, interesting nugget here. Back in 1979, Murphy and Theodore went into 7 overtimes. Murphy ended up coming out on top 33-26. We'll see if the Panthers can answer here and continue overtime play. That little nugget brought to you by my friend Robert Lazier.
Well, Tara, I know you got that nugget out of a book or something because you weren't even born.
At the 10, Maurice Robinson looking, wants to go up top. Oh, look at, there's contact, unable to get his feet down was Jefferson. Both teams coming out on first down and trying to get it early.
I mean, you got a couple of wide receivers that I'm sure once the football season's over, they walk them into the gym and they're on the basketball team,
right?
You would assume.
And out here, you might as well utilize that talent and let them play above the rim, huh?
I'm with you.
You know, there's never been a question of talent with this Murphy team. Every year, they've just got talent dotted all over the field. Just a matter of doing like this, finishing a football game and making a play with that talent.
Second down from the 10. Jefferson looking on the near side, goes up and grabs it and pulls it down. I thought he got in, and he did.
Yeah, he did. Nice job by that receiver to kind of
extend his hands. Yeah,
he catch it, and then he used that body, as you were talking about in basketball, to take a pivot step to swing over the goal line.
Now, last week,
he may be injured a right wrist, by the way.
Last week they went for 2.
Watch him just extend his hands out here and catch it. Then he pivots his body and swings it over the goal line.
Good job.
Carter
That's
Cochran.
hard to tackle when he does that, Jim.
Darnell Thomas will hold for the big PAT. Carter Cochran, the left-footed kicker. Good snap. Kick is up, and it's good. And we'll go to double overtime. Now we'll...
Some fight in these Panthers, huh?
No doubt. And some fight in the Bobcats, fighting both of them now.
Well, absolutely some fight in the Bobcats. I mean, they drew first blood, but what you're not used to seeing is the Panthers coming back with a swing punch.
Well, it's good to see it, and Coach Barnes has done a really good job with this team.
So now we'll see Theodore's defense stay out there, and we'll see Murphy's offense come back out on the field here in the second overtime.
Well, all that conditioning by both teams in the summertime is paying off thus far. So let's see what happens here in the second one. Stanza 2.
I've been down here in preseason years ago watching the Theodore band practice out in front of the school in the August heat, and it's like, I don't know how they do it.
And they're not in full uniform. They're not practicing in the full uniform. But
yeah, they usually do those things in shorts and shirt.
Hey, and speaking of the Theodore band, how great did they sound here on senior night tonight at halftime?
Murphy always sounds great. Theodore may have topped him. It was really
pleasant
good stuff.
surprise, huh?
Really good.
Glad you guys enjoyed that. That was good.
All right, second overtime.
Tamaji Porter right there in the middle of your screen and in the middle of this defense.
Yeah.
When we say the middle of the screen, we mean like the middle of the screen there.
Well, I would say he takes up the screen.
Right.
Good player.
And I would not say it to his face.
Good player.
Anthony Miller in the backfield. Jefferson On the right side, they look his way again. They want to go up top. It's in the air and incomplete.
Good coverage that time.
Yeah, Cameron Brown. He's had a tough assignment tonight, but boy, he's been grinding all night.
Wasn't bad
Jefferson.
coverage the previous time. Just the player making a play.
Jefferson with 2 touchdowns tonight, 134 yards receiving.
He's in his hip pocket. If the ball's not thrown up and over,
You want to see that one to the outside where he's got a back shoulder to get a chance to get it.
If he gets his arms out right, he gets an interception.
Pitch over the middle, wide open.
Nice.
Did he hold on? He did. A.J. Lewis. Wow, good job by Maurice Robinson selling the fake there.
Absolutely.
And Lewis just sneaks out. Yep.
They're holding on to that card. Didn't see that play all game, or if I did, I don't recall it.
They did. They have not ran that, but they have ran that little quick pitch all day. So that had the defense hungry for it, and you use it at the right time. So good job by Coach Barnes and his staff to pull that one out.
Good job by A.J. Lewis to corral that pass and not let it hit the ground there.
Yeah, Robinson tried to guide it to him.
Just throw the ball, right?
Yeah.
Cochran to try to make it 28-21, and now
Cochran moved early, Jim.
Yeah,
Kicker?
I believe so.
Yeah, that was the.
He's anxious too now.
And if that's the case, you'd rather have the flag thrown than the timing be.
Yeah.
And get the opportunity to kick it again.
Yeah, right.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, retry.
The Panthers, that'll scoot them back 5 yards. Where they will retry
The public address announcer said it will scoot them back 5 yards, not move them back or march them back or anything.
And that's a settle turn.
Scoot them back.
Settle turn.
Okay, so Cochran, he's got that, and it's 28-21. So you said, well, when Murphy's offense came out after Theodore scored, well, you know what you got to do. Well,
it's 10-15. I bought Waffle House last week. It's on you this week, Dan.
All right. So now clear enough. Theodore's knows they have to get a touchdown, and then they can decide if they want to go for the tie for a third overtime, or maybe if they get it in, if they say, hey, let's see if we can end this with a win.
Well, if I'm reading Coach Collier correctly, I think he'll take the conservative route.
I would agree, unless he knows something we don't know.
Which there's a lot of that.
Yes.
Well, in terms of a kicker and snapper, I
At the 10, second overtime, looking to go up top for O'Neal. He had one earlier tonight, and that one maybe just stayed up in the air a little too long.
Yeah,
good job by
Theodore
Coleman.
fans pulling for a interference, but I think it was more offensive, trying to get a little separation.
Well, the corner never turned his head.
Correct.
And that's always the, no pun intended, the red flag that sets fans off.
Second down from the 10. Pump going to the corner again. He's looking for Fabian Williams, and it was 1 yard too long.
Yeah, he tried to run that up and out. He had him just a hair of a step. It would have been a great pass to fit it in there and a great catch, but just wasn't able to execute it.
We got a Panther down in the corner there that cornered on the.
Yeah, I think that's Coleman, Michael Coleman.
Fence.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope he's okay. He's been in a dogfight all night here.
Ooh,
or should we say a cat fight between the Panthers and Wildcats.
And you know, and if you're the OC at Theodore, you're like, number one corner just went down on the right side.
Well, you're not missing that.
Let's take advantage of it. Coach Barnes all the way from the opposite side of the field to take a look at this player.
We are in the second overtime, third down coming up.
Heading into the morning, just about Saturday.
Coleman, a senior. Again, both these teams with. Oh, good.
Yeah, he looks like he's up and okay, thank God.
Hopefully he's just out for this one play.
But he's out.
Which is a key point, huh, Dano?
Yeah, could be. Let's watch.
See who rotates over there. Sometimes we'll see
two plays
Braxton
to get
Turk.
one score, huh?
still at the 10.
Yeah, they're going to bring Jalen Adams over on this side, and Deshaun Freeman will actually replace Adams on the far side. And
I'll give my boy Tukey a crack at it.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on Tillman in the corner.
Yeah, Freeman
in the slot.
He's matched up against Trayvon Ross. Looks for more of a bullet pass here, and he couldn't get to Tillman. So here you go.
Ball game right here, huh?
Potentially. From the 10, 4th down, double overtime. So they've looked for Jordan O'Neal. 3 straight pass plays here. Traylon Martin, number 85, checks into the game. We haven't seen him much on the field as a receiver tonight. Fabian Williams to the bottom of the screen. Martin line up to the slot. O'Neal to the top of the screen. Andrews looking for O'Neal. Wants to fade to the far corner. Heaves it up. Incomplete. And Murphy with a stunner, 28-21. Wins it in double overtime.
Well, you know, we've been talking about this Murphy team getting better and better. And tonight they were in a dogfight, being the visiting team. And they showed a lot of resiliency. And Coach Barnes got to be proud of them.
Yeah, I mean, they get the win.
Right, they will tune you out. And not as long as, you know, back in the day when we were playing that they would listen. So you only got a few shots.
Yeah, maybe a little less fear these days.
Exactly. You know, they've got these options, and they'll take the other option. Certainly like to see the great sportsmanship both teams showing. Great, good football game. You hate to see any team lose in these situations, but somebody has to go home with the W, Jim.
Murphy's just been in so many close games this year, and another one they win in double overtime, 28-21.
So it really looks like there's going to be a really good football team not in the playoffs.
I would agree. Let's go down to Tara. She's with the victorious head coach, Tara.
Coach, your first year head coach at Murphy, you win this huge game in double overtime. Just your emotions right now after this huge victory.
Well, you know what? The kids done an outstanding job tonight. Defense, you know, hats off to them. I mean, they play lights out. You know, offense scored when we needed to score. But, you know, just hats off to the kids. You know, we faced a little bit of adversity. And I've been telling them, you know, the whole time, I mean, what happens when you face adversity? Are you going to lay down or are you going to fight? And we came out fighting tonight.
And what's next for Murphy now that you see playoffs just in sight?
Well, we're going to get back to practice. We got to fix some mistakes that we made. We made too many. Offense didn't do enough in the first half. You know, defense stayed on the field way too long. So we got to go back to the drawing board on Sundays. The coaches meet on Sundays and get back to work on Monday.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, good win for that first-year head coach at Murphy. And
he had not changed his expression since the first play of the game. I mean, that's amazing, even after the game. And he just keeps everything in perspective. And I think if his team follows him, they're going to be on their way to some good stuff.
And you're talking about perspective. You know, I mean, immediately he went through a laundry list of corrections and things he wanted to do and the mistakes that went on tonight. So you can tell he's already on to next week.
Yeah, well, and always easier to correct the mistakes when you come away with a victory. And now 8 in a row over Theodore. And it just felt like a lot of the game until that long drive that Murphy had in the third quarter. Like it just felt like Theodore really was in control of the game, although the scoreboard didn't reflect it.
Well, remember the first half when we looked at the stats as far as the time of possession?
Yep.
And if you did just bring that up, that was obliterated by other things being said in my head. But the point is, this was a Theodore game to win.
Absolutely.
And but Murphy certainly hung in and didn't give it away and never gave up the fight. And I think you've been talking about this, Vic. The fight is what allowed Murphy to win this game, that they still had the fight in them.
Absolutely. And, you know, both teams had their share of penalties, but they seem to have got them under control. Maybe toward the end, they started becoming less frequent, even though they still continued. And just like you said, I mean, Murphy showed some resiliency, and Theodore looks like they were in control most of the night. But it only counts what's at the end of the night on the scoreboard.
You know, coaches have told us from the very beginning there was not a great dominant team maybe down here in 7A. But at the same time, wow.
One of these two teams not making the playoffs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, that somebody is not even going to get a chance to play a playoff game from Region 1 7A. That's a really good team.
Yeah.
It has a lot of good players.
And just, Murphy gets the win here tonight, comes back, they win it in double overtime, and then, everybody's, of course, you're tied at the end of one, and Murphy scores, and you come out and Theodore puts it in the air four times in a row, and it's just one of those things. It's like, boy, do we run the ball? Do we try to put it in the air looking for the mismatch? And that's why play callers, well, it's a tough gig calling plays.
It's a tough job. These coaches have a tough job. But, I like the way Murphy came out and just said, hey, we've got talent to match. Even though we're on the road, we're going to put it in the air, and we're going to let these big receivers make plays. We're going to ask our quarterback to place the ball where he needs to place it. And they turned out to be successful doing it.
Well, they're on the road, but they're like 12 miles from Midtown. Get all word. We didn't fly across the country. And I can see the skyline from here.
Their first road win of the year. That was they dropped all 4 road games they'd played so far this year. So their first win on the road. So
it did mean something.
Yeah, that's what they needed to do. They found a way to win. Our Alabama Orthopedic Clinic Player of the Game nominations: Maurice Robinson, the victorious quarterback for the Murphy Panthers; Michael Jefferson, also the wide receiver who had 2 touchdowns on the night, including the great play on the first play of the game; and then Roy Tukes, who was the running back who was really pounding it tonight for Theodore.
We could go on and on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the individual players
Tillman,
that we
I
saw
thought Fabian
tonight.
Williams played great.
We knew going in, both teams had a lot of talent. And that's why we were excited to do this game, because we knew it was going to be a team laden with talent. And it's just a matter of who was going to make the plays at the right time.
Yeah, and it turned out to be Murphy. But these teams have got to move on. And think about kids, too. They're pretty resilient. And
way more than the coaches. I mean, they always coaches talk
more
about
than
that.
the announcers.
Yeah, they do mention that. They say kids are more resilient than the coaches
They'll
are.
bounce back.
Oh.
And they've got a lot to play for, obviously. So look for Theodore to bounce back, and because they're a very sound football team. And I thought that top to bottom, they played a very sound football game. They just didn't make the very biggest plays at the end of the game.
28-21, your final. Couple of other finals I want to pass along if you haven't heard. Fairhope beats Davidson tonight 31-17. St. Paul's in the big 5A region matchup. They go on the road, a tough place to play these days up in Citronelle, and the Saints beat the Wildcats 26-20. McGill-Tulane stays perfect on the year. They beat Mary Montgomery 41-0. One score that's going to surprise some people. The Viger Wolves 33-0. They shut out the Jackson Aggies. That's a big win for Coach Scott and his
wasn't that in Jackson?
Team tonight. That was in Jackson.
Now, that is a true road game, huh?
That's a road game.
You can't see the skyline of Pritchard from Jackson.
No, you can't.
And that's a hostile environment to go get a win. Spanish Fort stays their hot streak. They beat Foley 49-14 in a non-region game. Saraland falls to Baldwin County tonight 15-14 on the road. Daphne hangs on to get the win 31-28 over Gulf Shores. And UMS with a win over W.S. Neal by a score of 42-14. Last we had, Blunt was starting to pull away from the LaFleur Rattlers as well. St. Luke's beats Leroy 38-35. BC Rain a win over Robertsdale tonight, and Blunt did pull away from LaFleur 47-18. Bryant beats Baker tonight 27-10, and Williamson a win over Faith 28-13.
Well, Jim, where's the party next week for us?
I think we're going to be in Saraland next week. I think we got a Spanish Fort Saraland region matchup to enjoy tomorrow night here, next Friday night here on UTV 44.
Some of the shimmer and shine on that one taken away by Baldwin County's surprising win.
Right.
To some people, though, Baldwin County's played well enough this year with their quarterback back. Not as big a surprise.
28-21, double overtime tonight. Murphy gets the win. They're 3-4 on the season and keep their playoff hopes alive. Tara Reeves on the sideline. Jared Kihos in the truck. Vic Lockett, Jim Cox, Stan Brennan. David Sharp, our statistician, saying good night from Theodore.